Yo, it's Sam at the top of the episode. I wanted to say this episode came out a little later than I wanted to. We had to put down our dog last week, and it's been kind of hard. She was a silly and sweet 14-year-old girl, but I opened up this episode to edit, and lo and behold, the universe came through. We all came together at Jimmy's house to record this episode in person. We don't usually get to do that because we all live in different cities. And we took our dog with us. So the very beginning of all of this has the sounds of Layla, which was cool to hear. So anyways, these are our home scenes that we're doing. We wanted to all do them together because I think it's more fun for especially these kind of character development things. We're gonna go through and do a home scene for each of the characters. For Fruman, we're gonna do a little bit of a mini game where we each impose an obstacle on him while he tries to amass the materials to complete the ritual he found. It's entitled Modeling Conscious Neuron Movement as Non-Collapsible Waveforms Using Self-Exciting Point Processes. Then we follow Fredrickson as he goes back home to settle some business he'd been putting off. And finally, we see FP unwind, maybe unpack in his motorhome. So we've played Delta Green kind of many different ways as a table for years. But we have kind of settled on our own homebrew rules for the ending of scenarios or missions, and also for home scenes. I just wanted to spell them out for you guys in case it got confusing listening to us. Basically, at the end of a scenario or a mission or whatever we deem to be kind of a milestone, I want to ask everybody how they feel about it. And if they feel good, everybody gets to roll a die for grip and a die for luck and gain that back. And I choose somewhere between like 1d4 and 1d10. If everybody feels kind of neutral about how things went, then I'm going to give them one die, and it's usually like a 1d6, and they can choose to add it to their luck or their grip. And then if everybody feels bad about how things went, then I do a 1d4 and I subtract it from their grip. Ultimately, if they all say they felt good and I felt bad, then we're going to go with me because I am the all-knowing and all-powerful game mom. And then for our home scenes, we do things a little differently. We really like playing games with the home scenes or writing narratives or kind of telling a story. So what we've decided to do is you can take kind of a generic grip and luck gain, or you can choose two things to auto increase without rolling. For the generic grip and luck gain, we do our normal stuff, and then you roll a 1d6 twice and choose one of the results to add back to your grip and one to add back to your luck. Either way, we collaboratively come up with a story. Maybe play like these mini games, try to identify something we want to explore with each character. For this campaign specifically, we're using bonds in a slightly different manner than rules as written, and that really has to do with the overarching campaign I've written. Ultimately, I decided this is the story we were going to tell. This is my novel I've written, and they're just on railroad cars chugging down the railroad track. The extra luck and grip just make sure we stop at the station I want them to stop at. Just kidding. Or am I? Okay, we're gonna do 15 seconds of silence and go. Cool, that sounds good. All right.
Did anybody pick up
Yeah. I'm interested. There probably will be that. I will be able to see that.
Under the table.
So tonight, I kind of have three things, depending on how much time we have and what we're doing, planned.
Three things.
But I need to get on Google Drive real quick. Two brothers. Brother fighting brother. Can you imagine?
Love you, Joe Mike.
Yeah, that's what my dad always says about the Civil War.
Brother fighting brother.
He's like, brother fighting brother. Can you imagine? And like, I'm sure.
Like just out of the blue, or like,
Yeah. Like they're fighting over the same lady.
I mean, in a sense.
And that lady is America. Here is what I have planned for tonight. Tonight, we are going to do 3 home scenes to really wrap up the arc. I wanted to kind of do a mini game where we each impose an obstacle on Fruman as he tries to amass the materials to complete the ritual he found entitled Modeling Conscious Neuron Movement as Non-Collapsible Waveforms Using Self-Exciting Point Processes. We wanted to follow Fredrickson as he goes back home to settle some business and see FP relax in his boater home.
Okay.
Okay.
Kind of like. Okay. Had you imagined like where Fruman was planning on getting said?
Yeah, I have my obstacle is going to directly address that, and then I have the end of that.
Okay.
So I have the beginning, and I have the end, and then I have your 2 obstacles in the way.
Okay.
And it's very important to me that you get to the body that we end at.
Okay.
So, did you have an idea of something you wanted to do though?
So initially, because I was going to him and Han, like every autopsy that I did, I just imagined like decapitating it. I don't know what happened to the head.
Who knows?
You know what I actually would do is if I needed to get a severed head at a medical school, I would go to the cadaver lab.
Yeah, that's going to be my obstacle. So
Wait, what's your obstacle?
yeah, I guess we can say them now to talk. My obstacle to start with.
Wait, I mean,
Well, I'm not going to tell you. Never mind.
I was saying,
We should
Well, I
talk.
just don't want to have the same one.
Yeah, we should have a pow. I can't say that. Can I say powwow?
Probably.
I
But
mean,
we should all talk.
yeah, just have a quick little meeting.
A little aside.
Okay.
Oh, rude. Well, listeners, they have abandoned me, and they're quite literally going to talk behind my back about the events of my life. How y'all doing? Doing okay? Man, there's some spooky, wild shit going on in the world. Pretty anti-religious, but 21 people arrested in a faith-based ICE protest. Jesus Christ. Ooh, no pun intended. Holy shit, we are a fucking barbaric society. So apparently, South Carolina just fucking executed a dude by firing squad. God, that's barbaric as hell. Jesus. What happens during a firing squad execution? The curtain opens in the death chamber of the prison with fewer than a dozen witnesses sitting behind bulletproof glass. The condemned person is strapped into a chair. A white square with a red bullseye target is placed over the heart by a doctor. Their lawyer can read a final statement. A prison employee then places a hood over the person's head, walks across the small room, and pulls open a black shade where the firing squad waits. Without an audible or visual warning to witnesses, the shooters then fire high-powered rifles from 15 feet or 4.6 meters away. The doctor will then come out within a minute or two and examine and declare the person dead. Lawyers for the last man executed by firing squad said the shooters nearly missed the heart of the condemned man. They suggested by barely hitting the bottom of the heart that he was in agonizing pain for 3 or 4 times longer than experts say he would have if his heart would have been hit directly. Also, why are we shooting him in the heart? What the absolute fuck?
Are you reading Harry Potter?
No.
You just said no.
Again, in a non-murderous way, but if one needed to commit suicide or, kill someone painlessly, that shit isn't hard. And so I don't understand why people keep fucking up lethal injections. 1, we shouldn't kill people anyway because it's fucking barbaric. But 2, if you are going to do it, you could at least make it humane. South Carolina is starting to fucking execute people by firing squad.
Hell yeah.
And so I was just reading the article and I was just like, holy shit.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
And they shoot him in the heart. Why did you not?
Yo, that seems awful.
Brainstem, yeah.
That's just cruel.
Yeah.
That's basically torture.
Well, it's also cruel. It's
Like,
cruel to everybody because
Yeah.
it's cruel to the person who has to kill people. I mean, I know there's
Yeah.
probably people out there who want to kill people, but I think in general,
Yeah.
that's still fucked up.
Yeah.
So
I think there are probably even people who are like, yeah, I could do that. And then they do it and they're like, oh shit, died. Nope, I was wrong. This is bad.
yeah, like, oh wow, I don't like killing people actually.
Yep.
It's people that like have never actually seen somebody die like that, and they watch a movie and they're like, "Oh, you get hit center mass and you just
Yeah.
fly back and you're
Yeah.
dead." And
Yeah.
you're like,
I watched
Yeah.
Saving Ryan's Privates one too many times.
When I was a kid, I used to think if you got shot anywhere, you would die.
Yeah, me too.
That's on
yeah.
TV.
It's a movie. They're like, it's like in the arm.
So I was like so terrified of getting shot. I'm like, if I get shot at all, I'll be instantly dead.
and now
Oh,
you're
no.
like, I don't care. Shoot me.
I mean, I struggled to do
growing up.
mean shit in Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
like doing the Dark
yeah.
Urge playthrough was so hard because I'm just like,
last Friday night, when you had gotten off service, we like booted up Baldur's Gate 3 for like an hour or two, and we were like, let's be evil, and then we just couldn't. We
Yeah.
just, like,
And we
can't do
accidentally
it.
ended up being
We
good.
accidentally ended up being good. We tried to go straight to the goblin camp and be like, we love you guys, and then it just didn't work out. I insulted Minthara and we had to kill everyone. I was like, can't be evil.
and okay. And so then if I have to be, to close this conversation, if I have to be murdered violently or
Yeah.
like be put to death, I would do guillotine. I would want
"Yeah,
just
Nah.
my head severed from my body very rapidly. It would have to
And
be
you get that
Yeah.
like split second of seeing your own body.
yeah, in this blink.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Just be
do.
like-
I
Yeah.
don't know that I want that."
Well, rather than getting shot in the
Oh,
heart and
yeah,
having to like
yeah,
feel
sure.
that or hanging.
Yeah. Yeah. If they like, I mean, I guess, I wouldn't want to be hung by like a too long rope, but I guess if they tear your head off, that's better than a too short rope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
the
I'd rather
apparent
just
like
not do
lethal
it.
injection where they
Everyone
can't figure out that they just
Go
keep
around
trying
the
to
table. How do you want to be executed?
keep trying to kill people with potassium, and you're just like, that shit burns.
Yeah.
Everyone,
Oh, yeah.
everyone
Oh, yeah.
says how
Everyone
it
cries
burns.
about it. Yeah, I mean, I'm
you have
sure.
to like slow it down even more. and they're-
injection
And then- And then they're like, and the potassium pills are too big. I'm like, you have to have it somehow.
And the
so-
liquid
Oh,
tastes
and we're talking
bad.
about the burning with actual patients who need potassium supplementation, not just for the
Not
murderous,
I-
not
like-
just for
Not
murderous intent.
just for the patients
Yeah.
that kill.
Like, I'm like, we're all
Also
doing
for the
lethal
ones that
injections, actually.
If it's with fentanyl, then I guess sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, why would
I
you
would
just
die
not-
from fentanyl.
Yeah. Why don't we not just overdose people on opioids?
Probe,
I don't know.
fent, rock, done.
Yeah.
But that's too humane, I feel like.
What if you
Like-
just did rock?
Because they're going to be like,
It would be awful.
oh, that's terrible. Yeah, that would
It's
be
like
really,
drowning,
really bad.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be really,
that's
really
just
bad.
locked in syndrome.
Yeah.
But-
oh no.
But, like, you can't breathe. Locked in
Yeah.
syndrome, people can breathe.
Can they?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's not what I learned in medical school.
All right, should we start?
Yes, let's begin. Okay. So this takes place after all the things that's a bad intro. This we'll say this is like days to weeks after you guys get back from Hobbs, right? So Cardiff Hunter took place over like another couple days. You guys were there for a total probably 4 to 7 days, somewhere in there. So what's happened in that time, and then we can set the scene for things.
So for a large portion of the final couple episodes, Fruman was just hell-bent on figuring out what was in the papers. And sort of once he got to the point where he gained a little bit of understanding about how, it was a ritual of sorts and how he could actually use it. And he got in his head that, I can project this onto a head, sort of like, Richard Nixon in Futurama.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's in Spiro Agnew. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so as sort of the bouts of, acute grip loss sort of dissipate and sort of things are returning back to normal, the fervent pursuit of that for Fruman has dissipated a little bit. But every day as he goes to the hospital and he performs autopsies, he just stares at the notebook and then sort of like looks back at the body and just being like, is this the head I could take?
Yeah.
He's like, I could do with this one. And you're just like, how would I explain this? And every sort of person who comes in, he's like, that person was wearing their seatbelt and incorrect. All of the vertebrae are severed. So like, I don't know, that one could ostensibly have lost their head. And so he's just getting to the point where
Yeah, it's like perseverating, thinking about it more and more.
I'm thinking like in the desert where you start like having the hallucinations
Yeah.
of the oasis where he just like will have fantasies of like, is this the one? And he like can
Jumps
imagine
it.
it like chopping it off and then it started to talk to him.
This one was executed by guillotine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marie Antoinette comes in.
South Carolina decided to switch to guillotines instead of firing squads. But so he's just doing that day in and day out, and it's probably eating at him.
Yeah.
To the point where he's just like, how am I gonna do this? Like, there has to be a head around here somewhere.
So first off, to do the ritual, given that that's where we're going with things, to do the ritual, it does require a material component, and that material component is something that allows you to basically interface with the head. And so what it looks like in my mind is some real like fucking weird science shit. There's like a oscilloscope with like wave, and you're like, why is that there? Like, what's this doing? And then like probes and shit. And so I think
EEG leads.
Yeah, that like you
the
have to
helmet.
put on there, and it's like doing, and then like probes that go down up in the neck, and you're like, how does it going into the neck doing anything with the brain? It's very like, it's the pulpiest thing probably we've done in the actual campaign is how I've imagined this. I think that you have this machine. You've slowly assembled it from parts you've taken from like various research labs and stuff as you've like thought more about that. And so it's hidden in your anatomical tank. And I guess really we should probably describe what that all looks like, because not a lot of people have been in anatomy tanks or in that, right? So like the way I'm picturing Fruman's work life or work home, it's truly got like the table. It's got the I don't know if they still have that. Was 98, because then they used to have the hang down thing that you so it's like be a cord or something that hangs down, that's like the mic that you can talk into. So while you're doing
so when we're talking about the table, it is like a sterile sort of like terrazzo or fake terrazzo, like linoleum floor with drains in the floor.
Yep. So any blood or viscera drops down. Yeah.
And then there's usually, and for like a university hospital, there's probably 2, 3, or 4 tables, and they are sort of like the, I don't know, like sternum high, maybe that may be a little high, but like navel high stainless steel table. They're like heavy as shit. They have like a rolled edge that sort of would try to keep viscera and blood and anything else on the table.
Picture
itself.
Agent Scully in X-Files.
Yeah, it really is like Scully doing X-Files stuff.
Yeah.
Like doing her, anytime they show her cutting up a body.
Yeah. Maybe less, the lighting's not so dramatic.
Yeah,
it's
usually
harsh.
Usually dingy, but like weirdly bright,
super
fluorescent lighting.
It's like sick almost.
Yeah, it makes
like
everything look sick.
Yeah.
Which matches the terrible smell that's like always there.
Yeah.
This is even not going to be formaldehyde, because this is fresh body autopsy stuff.
Right. Because
you're
I'm
not
thinking,
even in the
I'm thinking
cadaver
school.
lab.
Yeah.
You're in the like pathology.
Circling back, has anyone smelled formalin in a while?
Not
No.
since PA school, so that'd be 2017.
The Pavlovian response for me.
Still there.
So it was like, I don't know, maybe like 8 or 9 months ago, and I smelled it and I was just like, oh, and immediately got hungry.
Yeah.
Okay, it does make me hungry.
Well, that's because they always scheduled an anatomy lab in the morning.
Right before lunch.
Right
Right before
before
lunch.
lunch.
And so you just be smelling, and the stomach starts to growl. It was wild. We were in the...
God, and then my school had these like fried chicken guacamole wrap things, and like I can like taste it right now. Like I can smell the formaldehyde and taste this wrap thing that I used to get.
It's so
sweet,
good.
sickly sweet smell of formaldehyde, like chemically sweet. Ugh.
Yeah.
When
no
I was
matter
in
how
high
much air
school-
circulate.
Yeah, it just doesn't matter. It can't
When I was in
change.
high school, they tried to make it scented so it didn't smell, but they did it with like an artificial orange scent. But the problem
orange.
was
No.
it was also made we were dissecting cats, and any of the white fur turned orange.
Oh, Garfield.
So there was like these like all white cat that was like
Heathcliff?
bright orange.
Heathcliff.
Yeah, it didn't help. I think it actually made it worse.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, just lean into it.
You just
yeah.
gotta say this is formaldehyde,
Yeah.
and that's
And
it.
it's like when something smells bad and you try to cover it with perfume, and you're like, great, this is just like shit and perfume.
It's like someone shit in my perfume. Yeah, so I guess you really are in this, linoleum or whatever floor with the drain with stainless steel stuff, and then everything else tends to be kind of stainless steel, so that you can't get, it doesn't keep viscera, doesn't keep blood, doesn't keep
It's easy to
pathogens on
clean.
it. It's very easy to wash down.
With your bleach.
Yeah, with your bleach.
Mhm.
So that's your room, your kind of pathology lab or autopsy room. And that's probably what's in the hospital, because you're doing the autopsies that either the hospital wants or UNM wants,
Autopsy. Autopsy.
or the state of New
No
Mexico.
one could be shocked or something more. What is the rest of it? Anyway, sorry.
Yeah,
Go
you
ahead.
guys killed that.
I'm not
No,
afraid
I'm just
of
like trying to
ghosts.
remember the rest of it. It was
Not
like
afraid of snakes.
I'm not. That's a Tom Waits song also.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, bam, bam. Yeah, the way it sounds.
They
it
really
truly-
freak me out.
Yeah.
Where are their arms and legs?
Yeah, the guitar's
It's
like,
not
bow,
okay.
bow, bow. But yeah, so you'd be doing autopsies basically for the state or for the University of New Mexico for the hospital, I would imagine.
yeah.
So, and you probably do at least a couple a day, I would imagine at some point, especially 98. I feel like we were still doing autopsies, less, because now we don't, like at all.
Oh, I do a lot of them.
Yeah, I try to do a lot of them, but people don't tend to like it. Okay, so that's your day to day. I will say, I guess maybe at night or when people aren't there, maybe early in the morning, that's when you're taking items from these different, to get the oscilloscope. Because you've got this paper that describes what to do, what it's doing, but in very esoteric kind of mathematic terminology. And it's like, you need this thing. And it's kind of like, it's what I imagine. If you ever tried to design your own basic science experiment at all, you'll read a paper and it'll be like, yeah, we used like this reagent, we added to this group, and then we did that. And you're like, yeah, that makes sense. And then you're sitting in the bench and you're like, I have no fucking clue what they did. Like, I thought I did, but now that I have to do the physicality of it, I don't know what any of this shit is, like, at all. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
It's like baking cookies, but it's like put the dough in the oven. And you're like,
It's
okay,
the,
great.
yeah, you're like, but
It's
where
the technical
from-
challenge
from
on
Bake
Bake
Off.
Off,
Oh,
where they
yeah.
give like a
Yeah.
pared down recipe.
Yeah.
They're like, make the dough.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay. But yeah, it's very much like that. So you've kind of experimented, put stuff together, and you think you've got this now.
I have in the morgue drawer, so I have a drawer.
Yeah.
I just like put like a Jane Doe or something on it and then a padlock. And so that is like sliding that thing out, and it's the machine.
The machine, yep.
That I've sort of been compiling.
Yep, I love that. That
And you
sounds
call
good.
the machine Jane.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
And Jane's an acronym for
Just another energetic something.
encephalo
Ooh.
something.
Encephalo stimulator? I do love just another. That's perfect. Just another.
Just another.
Because you're trying to.
I guess that's the other thing, maybe. I'll tell you really quick. We've not really fully described what this ritual does.
Yeah.
So I wrote down what this ritual does.
Encephaloscryer?
Ooh, I love encephaloscryer. Janes. Well, so let me read you what it does. So this ritual, you are building a causal inference machine using human brain.
Mm-hmm.
You probably need to describe what causal.
Yeah, sure. So causal, right. So what this is this is a machine that is going to tell you causality, meaning it's going to elucidate to you what causes what. So it's a predictive model, but in predictive models, we're saying that like, oh, this is correlated with that. It's likely that this is happening. This is like true. This causes that. But it works in a way similar to a large language model in that it's doing predictive almost text, and it's using the brain to do that. You can ask it a question about a hypothetical future event or something, and it doesn't give you the answer to your question. Instead, it explains to you all of the conditions that must happen in order for that thing to occur. So if you're like, my brother is going to betray me, it's like, well, then your brother needs to be pushed to the limit in his marriage and he needs to lose his job. It gives you all of the things that would make that condition happen. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what the ritual does. So it's really not predicting things in so much as telling you how reality could unfold that way. To me, the reason I like this idea is that means if you ask it a question, it gives you things you could do.
Yeah, clues.
If you wanted to fuck around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so if you're like, I want Egbert to die, it's going to be like, well, for Egbert to die, it has to be January the 3rd. And you know what I mean? But it will give you it'll pull things from random that seem random, but they're actually all related in the web of causality, which is, gets into whatever.
It's almost like a
theory
genie, but instead of granting your wish, it tells you how to make your wish come true.
wish come true in a deterministic way. And when I say deterministic way, I mean if you do these things, this will be the outcome, right?
Yeah.
So, and I can imagine a world where you ask it esoteric or unnatural things, and you get this like, what the fuck is going on kind of response.
How do I get God to make a rock so big he can't lift it?
Exactly. And then it's like, well, you need to collect 100 bees in the city of New York, and you're like, whoa.
Some true hypergeometry.
Yeah, it's like true hypergeometry. But so that's what I've been imagining this.
Yeah.
That's what I've been imagining this thing as.
That's in the ballpark of what
what we were thinking.
Sweet.
I thought at first I was going to try. I just didn't have a way to make you understand this without me telling you. I was going to have us play out to try to figure it out. That's a complicated idea, and I'm not sure I would be able to communicate it in game. So I figure we should stay. But to do all this, you have to have all this machinery. So you have all the machinery set up. I think that what you've realized is that you need some sort of brain, because it uses the brain, and especially a dead brain, to kind of overcome the noisiness of a live brain. And so you would know that like hooking up a live person to this isn't going to allow the algorithms to run in the way that you want them to run. It just won't. There's too much noise.
Yeah.
There's too much stuff going on. But a dead brain is probably going to work. Okay. We'll have, I guess it'd be the morning that you come in, that maybe you've made the decision that you're going to try to do this. Does that sound reasonable, or what do you want
I mean, I think it's just like one of the things where like he's just been waiting for an opportunity. And so I think that there's something that's like, ooh, like new anatomy lab, like a new semester, or like something that would be like, oh,
yeah,
it's not gonna be a body that's associated with my morgue. There's something else that I could go try to
So I
pursue.
think then what we're going to say is that you just had to give the first year medical students the lecture on neuroanatomy, knowing that this means that they're about to go into the anatomy lab and cut some heads off of people to start looking at the spine.
The spinal cord and those slides. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we open up with you finishing that lecture, right? Which I'm sure Truman hates doing the lectures. I can't imagine he likes being up in front of people talking.
Oh, he's just droning on, just like essentially like reading his script that he wrote.
Yeah, it's literally just Truman, to me, I imagine his PowerPoints are just like chock full of words. There's a picture, and then there's it's like he breaks every rule possible. I guess did we even have PowerPoints in '98? Computers existed, right?
There's
I'm just
probably
kidding.
an overhead projector, perhaps.
Okay.
And there ends my lecture. I need everyone, once you get to lab, to identify the posterior spinocerebral tract, the DCML pathways, the fasciculus gracilis, the fasciculus cuneatus.
What the fuck is this guy talking
The lateral
about?
spinothalamic tract.
Why is he so weird
The
and tall?
anterior.
He's a worm.
Pass you a note that's him standing in front of Castle Grayskull. Or wait, no, that was He-Man's castle.
Truman is He-Man. Excellent, though.
That's the one kid who's like, I'm going to cut these heads off so hard.
And I'm going to need you all to label them as ascending and descending
Jesus Christ.
pathways.
I'm going to need a drink after this.
Thank everybody for their time, and good day.
Good day, Professor.
Class closes down, and I think that this is the moment Truman realizes that he could potentially get ahead in life.
Second time that joke's been made in this podcast.
You wanted to cut it, though, so...
I was like, that's kind of lame, but it came out better in the end than I expected.
It
was
worked.
good.
It slapped.
Yeah. Yeah. You walk back to is your office in the same space, like right near all of these things, do you think?
So the way that this is set up is it's kind of like sort of a throwback to the operating theaters.
Yeah.
Because like, again, it's a teaching campus. So like there's going to be some like a line of windows so that way people can watch.
Yeah.
And then it's probably, so like you have like you have the lab, and then you have like a hallway with windows so that way people can watch. And then like on either end of the window, it's like intake on one side, and then my office is on the other side.
Sure. And then who is your lady? It's Emily, right?
It's Amelia Hendrickson.
Amelia, that's right.
Oh,
Amelia. Yeah. And she's like, oh, Truman.
Yeah.
I made her sound like I think as you're walking back to your desk, she's like, Truman, you're always studying something. It's unnatural. A guy just becomes John C.
Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah, he became John C.
John C in a wig.
Turns out they're related.
Johnson's sister, Amelia.
Twins.
Twins! No home life because they're married to the job. Ain't never seen a marriage work out for them. Oh.
Amelia, just think about it. It could work. Like, not all doctors.
Oh, I could never marry a doctor, Truman.
And he just like
Deflates.
visibly deflates. It is like, and then just like walks to his office and sits down and just stares at the wall for a couple 40 seconds.
Yeah, cool. We have you sitting there looking at stuff. It's almost like the machine's calling your name at this point. Knowing that you think you're going to go on this quest, because this was the quest I had set up for you as your home scene.
My vision quest.
Your vision quest. Yeah. So I think that this machine is calling your name after getting rejected for the 5th time today from Amelia. And what do? Do you pull it out?
No, I think that he sulks and like does like weird worm slithers or like not on the ground, but like when he walks.
Not on the ground.
Yeah, imagine he when you say he kind of deflates, he literally like flops down onto the floor and then he just kind of like goes down the hall.
You're kind of skulking in your anatomy tank or your office.
And Fruman just doesn't leave the office until like he sees all the lights go off.
Okay.
And then like once he does, he sort of stands up and he's just like, he walks in and he just opens Jane.
Yeah, and takes a look.
Or open the drawer containing Jane.
Cool. Jane's there. Jane is, again, this amalgamation of wires, this oscilloscope, this just a bunch of machinery that you're like, how does any of this shit go together? I think you take a look, and that's maybe when you decide that you want to go see if you can grab a actual cadaver head, or what do you think?
Yeah, so like at this point, he's just like, we know that we're going to dissect this at some point, and then I can probably just blame it on, because at this point, he doesn't like Terrence anymore. He's like, I can just blame this on Terrence of like, be like, inappropriate med school joke, taking a head. Terrence, where'd you put the head?
Okay, I love that. Let's circle back to that, because that has some implications that we're going to explore with your person, or with, who are you? My wife? With Fredrickson, too.
I was like, I thought we weren't telling our person. Or like, never mind.
Okay.
So
that was confusing.
I'm playing a character and you're not going to know who it is.
Yes. You're going to have to guess.
Never mind. Move on.
Okay.
do you work in the hospital?
Yabba dabba do. Who am I?
Try to take a
it's
guess.
literally just guess who. That I'm like,
Yeah,
like,
guess who,
does this
except-
person have a mustache?
Yeah.
Does this person wear glasses?
Except it could be any person in the history of humans and characters.
I am going to throw it out there that I can tell that we haven't recorded in a long time because we are riffing constantly.
Yeah.
Dog, yeah.
Just
Yeah.
everything is over him.
So much creativity just pent up.
When you
Get it
opened
out.
the door for Jane, I had a really hard time not just starting like Jane says.
Yeah, Jane says.
No to Frumio.
Frumio.
Well done.
So why don't we say then? What do you want to do? Do you want to wake up the next morning to try to see when the students are doing it? How do you want to? What's Fruman's game plan? Knowing that the students in the coming day to 2 days are going to be cutting heads off the bodies.
I think that it's after hours and he's just kind of like looking around. I guess nobody's here. Maybe I just walk down and see what happens.
Okay.
And so I think that he just sort of like real sort of awkward and creepy just is like poking his head around like a door. So it's like a long hallway and you just have this like creep head like.
Yeah, long hallway with all the lockers, because I feel like the lockers are always by the anatomy lab for some reason. And so we just see this, because he's blonde, right? He's got the
like white blonde. Yeah,
yeah.
long
We
hair.
see the head kind of peek around the corner. I think what you would notice is that the tank for UNM, and sorry, I keep saying tank. That's what you call it in anatomy lab. It's like your tank. It's where you do dissect all your stuff.
It's because you can fill it with water.
Yeah.
And like
And
hose
truly
out
out.
the whole room.
The tank is, you can see the lights are on. So it looks like there may be 1 or 2 people in there.
So I think Fruman kind of wants to then like duck walk, like squat down and duck walk under the windows, and then just kind of like slowly like pop up to see who's in lab.
Okay.
He just does the thing where he walks downstairs. the window. He's like rowing the boat.
Yep.
Trying to put on the show for whoever's in there.
He's like, maybe I can endear myself to them.
That was actually my go-to if I got caught. So thanks for preempting that.
Can you give me a stealth to see if you can hide? Ooh, that's gonna play well on the recording too. That's gonna be nice.
Yeah.
What number is
Should I get ones that actually make noise?
Oh, that's a 67.
Okay. I was like,
Or 61, sorry. I was like, ooh, 169. Am I going to spend luck? And I was like, no. So that's a 67. That is a fail.
assure you that that's a 60.
I mean, 90.
Looks like a 90 to me, but
Whatever.
that's
I mean, it doesn't matter.
I only have a baseline 10%.
I mean, that checks out for sure.
Yeah, I was just trying to see if it was a 16, I could spend luck. So I was like, it doesn't matter, 60, 90.
okay.
It's immaterial.
Yeah.
I spend 70 luck.
I'm gonna blow this wide open.
You do the coolest rowboat ever.
So I think what happens is you try to duck, but then you hear one of the students, and they're like, "Did Dr. Lavelle just like do the whole like walk downstairs in the window? Is he still here?"
So at that point, I pop up and then start canoeing. I go like forward until like I'm out of line of sight.
If we just ignore him, he may go away. They're there though. If you want to try to interact with them at all.
Yeah, I think that he would like. Again, he was trying to see who it was, and like,
Yeah.
he fucked it up, but it's a couple students, and so he just like walks in.
Yeah, there's 3 students in there. Truman probably doesn't know any of the students' names. Do you think? Or
Oh, it's 0%
yeah,
chance.
there's no chance. Okay, but they all know you. They've got one of the bodies out. The rest of them are locked up, and they're just going to town basically. These are 3 gunners for sure, right? These
Yeah.
are the people who like they're not getting drunk at the bar like some of us were in medical school.
I don't know who you're like implying with that specific comment. So I think Fruman just sort of approaches and is just like furrows his brow, is like, what are you doing after hours with these bodies?
Oh, we're just trying to like get in a little bit of extra time, There's just not enough time in medical school. It's kind of like drinking from a hose. So, and we just want to get
What?
all of that knowledge that you have to get in your head. It's like drinking from a hose.
It's a fire hydrant.
Oh,
I
sorry,
thought it was
Jessica.
a fire hose.
Oh, sorry, Jerica.
Who
Jessica and Jerica are saying different things.
who says that?
Well, Jessica and
Why
Jerica.
why are you drinking any medicines?
Oh.
Or what?
No,
like-
it's a. Oh.
It's a
It's a figure
metaphor.
of speech.
It's move past it. We're trying to do good.
I'm just really trying to do my best in this class.
Yeah, it's really important to me and to Jerica and to Jessica that we pass.
I
and
need you to
pass.
stop talking.
Oh.
You either do good or you don't. Drinking from hoses or fire hydrants and wanting to do good, just do good. So now, if we're going to do good, show me the fasciculus cuneatus.
I'm going to roll medicine. What does the med student have in medicine? 25%.
5 for 5.
Wait, what's the
5
base?
better than-
Oh, critical
88.
failure.
On a 25.
It just like points to the
foot.
earlobe.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought that this kind of looks like that, and she's pointing at the. It's really hard not to say penis. The the knee.
No.
Oh.
You.
Okay. 37. So normal fail. So I point at like some other.
That's the posterior spinocerebral tract. Also, no.
I mean, but was I closer than Jenny?
No, it's basically the knee of the spinal cord. You.
You just furious scribbling knee of the spinal
I'm like,
cord.
okay. Jessica's good.
I don't look at the body at all. I just keep going, and I just reach a finger out without looking away from you and just like blindly poke at the body. That?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Jessica. She's so dumb, but so smart. I hate her.
Thank you, sir.
She's ugly as hell.
I'm actually impressed.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Now point to the lateral spinothalamic tract.
We just gonna keep doing that.
I just reach out and point to you.
Just boop on the nose.
All of you leave.
Oh, okay.
You don't deserve to be here. unless you've already read your book and you can point out these structures. You must not have paid attention to my lecture today.
Okay.
I suggest you read chapter 10 in Robbins.
Okay.
Go.
Oh, okay.
We should get out of here.
Should we put the body away or just go?
Just go.
Okay.
Okay.
So you'll put the. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Jessica, Jerica, let's get out of here. This is
Scurry.
And he like sort of slither follows them to like make sure that they actually leave.
I'm just picturing him like Snape coming down the hall, but with like blonde hair. Now.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, they all leave, and you are left with this cadaver that's not been dissected, really. So, what do you want to do?
I mean, it's been partially dissected. If I can point to
Drew, the other
Spinal
point to
tracks.
spinal tracks and stuff.
So my guess is that I sort of am looking at the windows and everything and just making sure that the lights are off. And then I think that Fruman walks over and closes the blinds.
Yeah.
And then like breaks out like a bone saw and then like a scalpel, like a 12 blade.
Sure. I think the shot is through the window of the door. You know what I mean? And so it's like you get your stuff together. You have the bone saw. You have the bone saw, and you kind of like go and like word up, and then you have like a scalpel to get through other stuff.
Yeah.
And then that's when you notice that the window's open, and we just hear we like see it shut, and then we hear the as it starts cutting through tissue and bone.
Yeah.
You're able to liberate the head from the body.
Second decapitation of the podcast.
Second decapitation, and we're still in the first.
Still rolling.
We're still rolling.
And Fruman holds the head up by the hair and then like moves the mouth and is like, this is how you get a head.
Psychically, you hear Glenn go, "Oh, great!"
As he's like trying to figure out what to do with the head, he sets it down and like pulls the cadaver's hand up, and then he gives the cadaver a high five. And then he's like, now I need to do something with this.
Yeah, I'm not going to go down a tangent on this because I was just thinking about how they're. Never mind. So yeah, you were able to take the head back to your lab, but let's say.
I mean, do you want to like very graphically describe the decapitation of the
Oh
head?
yeah, do you want to? I'm happy to do that if that's what
I
you.
think people kind of like it.
They dig it.
Yeah.
Well, so a dead body that's got formaldehyde. There's no blood, right? It's all just gray tissue.
Kind of slimy.
It's slimy.
It's a little juicy.
Yeah, it's very juicy. Smells of that formaldehyde.
Well, and I guess the other question is, what is the body habitus of this person? Because that's going to change how slippery the floor gets.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
True. I think what I
It's
see.
like an average sized person.
Well, so think about when we do.
What Aubrey is
Oh, go ahead.
alluding to is that adipose tissue essentially, again, is fat, which in a cadaver ends up sort of being the consistency of like once you break it, it turns into molten butter.
Yeah.
And is impossible to get off of floors, off your instruments, off your gloves.
But like
And it-
waxy
kinda
butter
slide
too,
around.
right? It won't go away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like butter that you just took out of the fridge, but slightly warmer.
But slightly
slightly
warmer. And
lower than room temperature.
but then
butter.
also like sticks around wax, like you can't get it off, like
Yeah.
which I guess you can't with butter, but it's even more tenacious.
By the end of anatomy lab, everything, if you run your hand across anything,
It's
it slides.
Yeah, it's got
It's like when you melt butter and then it solidifies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
And really what they probably had, because you were pointing at spinal structures, is the body was probably on its stomach
Yeah.
with the spine, the back flayed open, right? It's like that you've exposed the actual spine itself. That's been kind of... So actually, you probably don't have to do a whole lot, really, because it's on its back. They've probably removed parts of spine to start looking at things.
Yeah.
All of the musculature has been removed from the spinal column itself. You can probably get down and slice through the spinal column. And again, you don't give a shit, right? When we're doing anatomy stuff, we're trying to like dissect things to actually identify structures. You don't give a shit.
So that's why he actually grabbed a 12 blade. And so for, people who are listening, like if you just do scalpel, blades and then do like a Google search or whatever, and they all have different tasks. A 12 blade is like a fucking scalpel sickle.
Yeah.
And then you can just like stick it in and then yank and sort of
start
like
cut through, get through.
It is extraordinarily inelegant and is the perfect job
But
for
extremely
hastily
effective.
trying to
Yeah,
cut
for
through the
something
soft
quick.
tissue.
Yeah.
And then a bone saw,
Oh,
again,
yeah.
so you have the spine that you're going to try to, cut through or whatever. It oscillates, so it goes back and forth. And so you can actually put it on skin and it won't cut through. It has to have something like to set the teeth in. The only problem is that it creates sort of like a dust bone cloud.
Yeah, the gross.
And then on top of that,
Yeah.
it's the bone dust plus sort of it's also flicking that like molten, fat butter stuff around. So it is just creating this like fine dust of like very slick, very disgusting, gritty
It's like
bone.
you got to cast darkness and grease at the same time.
Yeah.
I think you're able to remove all that. You're able to drill through or cut through the spine, and I think you're able to take your giant scalpel and get through all the soft tissue. Because again, you don't care about the anatomy, so you're just ripping through shit.
Yeah, through tendons.
You rip
vessels,
through all of the giant vessels in the neck, through the tendons, the
SCM.
and then like the actual the windpipe itself, right? Your esophagus, all of that.
And I think Fruman, as he's doing this, sort of like frantically, like has the notion to be like, no one would implicate me in this. This is the only time I've ever wielded a scalpel or a bone saw in this uncouth manner.
Yeah, because you're usually very
you're
meticulous.
like meticulous.
Yeah.
Right?
So this is not the work of Fruman.
Yeah,
You're trying to frame a med student.
Yeah.
Very much so.
I think it was frantic, but then I think that Fruman's just like, oh,
this will work out.
yeah.
You just carve Terrence in the back of the
Terrence
body.
was here in the
Yeah.
Cool. I think you take the head. You're able to bring it back to your like autopsy space. But I think that's when we encountered. That was my obstacle, was having the kids there and forcing that. Do we want to go your obstacle next?
Sure.
So, sorry, I should explain this. All three of us decided that we were going to have a kind of a mini game where we each provided one obstacle for Fruman to get through in order to tell the story of his home scene. And so mine was that the interaction with the kids, which yours, or you set up your story.
So you walk
Give
up.
me a beer.
You walk up to. So sorry, this is like the actual like autopsy suite.
Yeah.
Basically, okay.
It's like Truman's personal lab, right?
Yeah.
Where he usually, okay.
And that's where he does like pathology stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you walk up to the door of your pathology suite and you see a man in his late 40s, you think, wearing transition lenses, who's balding with like a kind of ring around the back. He appears to be wearing like a hazmat suit from the neck down. And he's like setting up like a tent thing around the room. And he's kind of like taping around the door. And he's got like a backpack thing on. And he has all these chemicals. And he looks like he's setting something up.
Like, so he's blocking the entrance to my area.
And, like he's taping your door to the pathology suite. He's like, looks like he's setting up like almost like an extermination tent around your office and everything.
Fruman had not seen anyone, so he's literally just carried ahead. And so he just like tucks it up under his shirt like he's pregnant.
Yeah, and this guy also has a bit of a beer gut, so you're in
Good
similar company.
Fruman slowly walks up, and depending on how busy he looks or whatever, Fruman just kind of like looks and stares at like around it with like all of the tape and everything else, and he's like, huh, and then just tries to walk into his door and just absolutely say nothing or just be like, huh.
He sees you kind of walk towards the door, and he like sticks his arm out like this, and he goes, "Wait a second, who are you? What do you think you're doing here?"
This is my lab. That's my office. Who are you?
Well, unfortunately, you're not going in that office.
Yeah, I am.
What's your name? I was told nobody was gonna be here overnight. My name is. You want to say Gary Bartel?
I can see you do the G sound.
Your name is Larry Martell.
Or Barry Gartel.
My name is Larry Martell, and I work with Bugging Out Extermination Services. Unfortunately, you've got a bed bug infestation in there, and I've got to do my job. I can't have you going in there. Do you want bed bugs? Those things are horrible vermin.
I believe that you may be as idiotic as my medical students.
Well, you know,
My name is, and he pulls down the curtain, and it says like Truman Q. Lavelle, MD, PhD, Director of Pathology Lab. That's me. Look in the window. There is no organic surface in there, so fundamentally, you cannot have bed bugs on stainless steel and linoleum floors, and I bleach the shit out of that room and hose it down on a weekly basis.
Well,
So please tell me bugging out. Where are these bed bugs that you speak of?
I'm going to stop you right there, Mr. Lavelle.
It's Doctor.
I don't care.
In
I've got to
fact,
tell
it's
you, I'm not a
Doctor.
huge fan of you liberal elites. You all think in the academic world that you know better than us, but I'll tell you what. I've been dealing with vermin for 25 years. I've been sent here to do a job. So unless you can give me a good reason why you need to go in there, and you can get me someone on the phone telling me that you're cleared, I've got to tell you can't go in that room.
Well, I guess if we are going to expose you potentially to bed bugs that can inhabit stainless steel surfaces, you're going to need vaccines. And Fruman pulls out like some needles and some saline from his pocket and was just like, okay, I assume that you've heard and have been, properly vaccinated prior to this, but something about how you're talking to me makes me think that you haven't. So I have 3 vaccinations to give you, none of which have 5G in them. Definitely have some microchips. So 1 in each shoulder and 1 in your butt cheek. So take everything off.
No, sir. You're not injecting me with that Y2K bug.
Can Truman give me a stealth roll?
A stealth?
Yeah.
God damn it. It's a 98.
I think as you lift up with that to do that, we just hear a boom, boom, boom as the cadaver's head falls out from your belly down onto the ground in between the two of you. And you both just stare down at a man's head staring up at you.
And actually, I think that is enough for Larry Martell. And he just screams. And he's like, I don't know what kind of satanic shit is happening at this university, but I will not have my name on a job here. And then he
Sir,
runs away.
He goes, shashaw, and runs away.
He goes, pocket sand, throws it in your face, and then runs away.
And Fruman leans down, picks up the head and is like, Jane, I am so sorry for that distraction. Idiots. And then rubs the sand out of his eyes and yanks down actually, Fruman's like, huh. And he sees the taping and sort of the fumigation thing. He's like, And he actually finishes putting it up real quick and then ducks into his office with the head.
Cool.
Puts a little sign up that says "Do not enter. Toxic chemicals in use."
Yeah.
Does he hook up the head to start to try to do the thing?
Unless there's another.
So now it's 10 or 11 at night, we'll say. You hook it up, and it takes you a couple hours of experimenting with stuff, and it's like you get it almost to where it's going to start actually talking to you. You're Victor Frankenstein, almost like it's alive, but every time it shuts down just a little bit. It you get right there. I think after fucking with it for a few hours, what you realize is that...
Can you roll something for that?
Is that you... not for that, but we can talk about how it's going to work moving forward. You realize that this head is not going to do because it's been preserved. The embalming, preservation, whatever, ruins the process. So what you understand after doing all this is that you probably need to find yourself a fresh head.
You say, damn it just wasn't quite fresh enough.
Yeah.
Now he's just like, fuck, I need to dispose of this head.
Yeah,
just imagining you going back.
Yeah, I would say he pregnant walks the head back to and then just kind of births it back onto the table.
Do a really bad suture job. It just kind of flops backward.
Yep.
Yeah, it's backwards, staring up at the ceiling.
Yeah, someone will think that's a joke if I put it on backwards.
Yeah.
Right, Terrence was here again on the forehead.
Terrence strikes back.
Okay, what's
word?
I looked up how do rituals work on Delta Green, and there's a shotgun scenario called Gathering the Magic. And I'm like, okay, we should play that at some
Definitely.
point.
Steve the Magician.
Yeah, instead of Magic the Gathering.
So as you're looking that up, I think Fruman starts thinking about his other options. And I know that he's been thinking about an actual head. But as he's thinking about again, something that's less dead or whatever, I think that he would think to mycorrhizal networks. And so with the
You'll probably have to explain that.
So beneath like the surface of the ground, in healthy fields and forests and stuff, there's like a bunch of like interconnected fungi. And so they're actually split up into like individual like septated hyphae, which are like individual cell parts. But these things are massive. And the cool thing about it is there's actually some thought that these are actually intelligent, but just not in sort of like the human way that things are intelligent. And so, for instance, if one part of a forest is not having enough, nitrogen or X or Y or Z nutrient, the mycorrhizal network will actually transport from the super healthy part of the forest to the part of the forest that's struggling. So it's like very, communistic in that sense. But when people say that they have like the potential for like intelligence, is that each one of these individual units is like a gated like entity, and they're so big and there's so many of them, they would actually get in the same ballpark as a human brain. And so each one of those gates can then be a 1 or a 0 to then just have like just shit tons of data like be able to put through it.
And when you say large, you mean like miles and miles and miles. This isn't large like the size of like a park. It's maybe like a national park.
Well, so I mean, like, I think that you can have like Tower Grove Park or something like that. It doesn't have to be like
sure, yeah. But what I'm saying is like potentially, yeah,
like the entire Olympic Peninsula.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm getting at. Is like potentially they are that large.
Oh yeah.
It's not like that's just mind blowing.
Which is fucking cool.
And people are like, this is actually the largest organism in the world. And you're like, damn, that's nuts.
Yep.
Sorry, you can continue.
I think that he just like wonders like, is there like a fungal nerd here that's like specifically researching this? Could I just shove the electrodes into like the soil of his experiment, so that way I don't have to like implicate myself with another fucking severed head?
Interesting.
Okay, so what I'll tell you about ritual activation, because we've never really talked about this in Delta Green, because we've just never gotten to this stuff. To activate rituals, what you end up doing is it usually costs you sanity or grip it costs you grip every time you do it, right? Of some sort, to ask a question. And then the other thing is you have to roll for ritual activation. And the cool thing about ritual activation is that your ritual activation skill is 99 minus your current grip score. So that means that you get better at activating rituals the crazier you get. Right.
Yeah.
So you can probably, like right now, you guys have had some grip loss, and we're going to gain some back after home scenes, because I'm going to give you guys back some grip and some luck. But at the end of the day, this is going to be a ritual that works a lot better like chapter 3 and 4 of this story than it does chapter 1, right? If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm going to roll a die on my current sanity of insert sanity here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's fine. We're not going to activate it this time around. This home scene is not going to be...
Okay.
This home scene is going to be about setting this up, not doing it. And then we can figure that out later if you want to actually... And I may even give you like a free roll of it just to ask a question. It's like you're tuning it, figuring stuff out.
Yeah.
So, but then that means that you'll ask me, and then you'll tell me a question. I'll answer it later. So, yeah. Also, I think it's called like assembly projection principle or something like that. Have you guys heard assembly projection principle? It's like a bunch of independently firing neurons eventually can make conscious or can make something greater than themselves, which we generally label as consciousness. So it's this idea that there's a bunch of things working kind of independently, but also not kind of independently. If you get enough together, it can form something larger than the sum of its parts.
Literally that mycorrhizal network.
Yeah, exactly. You can give that. How do you want to do that? What do you want to do for that?
I feel like I should like roll luck to see if I can like think of anybody who would be doing this sort of work.
Okay.
Or whatever you would want me to like roll for that.
Why don't you roll me how much occult do you have?
Insert occult number here. I have 10 on here. I think I got like
couple.
Like
just give me
14 or 12 or something.
Give me an intelligence roll, and this is going to take us into the next day.
That is a critical success, 44 on a 85.
Yeah, I figured you had a high intelligence. What we see is you leave the cadaver that you've sewn back together, and I think you head to the medical library with your notes on the predictive model. Go out there, you go to the library, it's open 24/7 so students can study and stuff, and you start to just go through esoteric and occult principles of like consciousness, right? So you start with like shitty Descartes stuff and like move all the way through that and then start combining it with mycology. The sun comes up, right? And we see a very tired looking Fruman sitting over a desk. With a critical success, what I'm going to give you is that this spell here is going to require a human brain. If you wanted to spend time to turn it into something else different than that, using something like that, that is something you could do. You think you've kind of, I don't know, when you're like researching something really deeply, I feel like there's that point where there's the first point where you're like, I don't know what the fuck's going on and I'm like having trouble putting anything together, and then things start coming together, and then like I feel like all of a sudden it's the learning at something versus being able to teach it. Because when I can teach it, it's like I could be like, oh, there's like 3 main buckets for how I think about this. Bucket A, bucket B, bucket C. And it's like all those threads came together so that you were at the point at 6 a.m, almost passing out, that you finally put it all together, that you either need to, at this point, find a fresh human brain, or you could spend some home scene time, some stuff, but not right now, to work towards it. Those are not.
Are you gonna make me kill Terrence?
No, no.
Oh.
No.
I'm going to kill Terrence before you.
You're like, okay, because I'm willing.
You're like, damn, I wanted to kill Terrence. No, you won't have to kill anybody for any of this. But so you do think that that's something you could explore if you wanted to, which I think would be a pretty good character motivation to try to tap into Mother Nature to some degree or something.
As Fruman like makes this realization that he thought that he had this brilliant idea, and then he had already, as he was investigating this, was going to like name his fungus machine Jane Audrey 2 as a little shop horrors throwback.
Nice.
He's like, because he had like already crossed out like Jane, wrote Jane Audrey 2.
Yeah.
And then he crosses that out again and then just rewrites Jane.
Single tear drops down his cheek. I think at this point, what we'll say is that, because again, it's home scene, so we're not, you're going to go to sleep. You're going to like rest. We're going to do stuff. Do you have your obstacle? Do you know how to fit it in? Do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think at some point, like, you just tell me when you want me to show up, and I just kind of appear wherever. That's the nature of what it is.
Because I
probably
think
at an inopportune time to be interrupted.
Yeah. What we're going to say is the next day, you take that shitty nap that like when you do an overnight shift and then you like sleep for a couple hours and you're like, but I got to like go do some stuff.
And it's a terrible headache and you feel hungover.
And that, like a little shaky. Yeah, you're like hungover despite not drinking at all.
Yeah.
You get up knowing that you probably have to give another lecture or something, but what you think to yourself is, could I troll the ED board? And then we're gonna do smash cut Edgar Wright stuff where it's like you wake up, headache, pop like some ibuprofen or something. We see Fruman's face and it like lights up because he's like, ED board, trauma. If I can get to the trauma center, I can maybe find somebody, meaning I can find somebody who's had something happen to them that I could potentially get in there before it gets taken from the fresh body morgue area into the autopsy room. We see you slam a cup of coffee. We see you get up, get dressed, and you walk out. I always imagine Fruman walking like either worm-like or heel first, and they're like a church mom kind of or something, like arms swinging.
I actually think that he walks like Tina runs,
like arms completely
and so
still.
I think that sort of as he walks,
I love that.
That's sort of how I imagine his
like
slither.
serpentine, but standing up.
Yes.
Yeah.
And his arms don't move, and so it just like
it's
his
like
shoulders.
almost lazy Naruto. You're
Not lean forward,
not
but
lean
straight
forward,
upright.
straight upright, and
Lazy
arms
Naruto.
kind of a little bit
And
back, but not
slow.
like but not fully back. So I think we see lazy Naruto run towards the morgue, and so now it's 3 p.m. or something. We'll say after you've taken care of some of your stuff, and you're like, I think that if I can just find the right body that has had something happen to it, I can do this. We have this morgue, and the morgue is the setup of like the classic morgue. So it's stainless steel stuff, but it's the bodies that come out, right? It's like a wall of shelves that are body-sized shelves, and you can pull one out. It smells terrible in there.
Yeah.
The terrible combination of aseptic tanginess and human remains, like defecation, no breathing. Don't give a fuck if I cut my own bleeding.
Defecation.
I think what we're going to introduce your obstacle is then, because I think what we see is Fruman throws open the door of one of the morgue. There's like 2 big morgue rooms, and
I think maybe what do you do when you throw open the doors?
I think Fruman's like probably gonna peek in like a couple of them to see like, I need the path of least resistance here. And so I think that he's gonna spend like a couple times being like,
And so I think as you're doing that, you hear behind you, "Hey, Dr. Lavelle, how you doing?" Oh shit, I'm Johnsy.
he's just
You see the triplet of Johnsy and
Fruman
Amelia.
is just haunted by.
It's their third triplet sibling.
I mean, Fruman's never met Johnsy, so
Oh, true. Truman has no idea who John C is.
He turns around, he's like,
hey, Dr. Lavelle, Dr.
Amelia?
Lavelle, how you doing? Hey, Dr. Lavelle. And you turn around and you see a guy who's like, despite sounding like this, he's in it. Yeah, I guess he sounds like Amelia. Whatever. Hey, I'm this guy. What?
There you go. That's a good Christopher Walken. I'm this guy.
okay.
All right. So you see a guy who, despite sounding older, is in his 30s. He's got like slick back, almost greaser hair. He's got on like a baby blue jumpsuit with a name badge that says Jan Kelly. And he's got like a mop bucket. He's clearly a janitor, and you're not sure if you've met him before or not, but he seems very like familiar with you, if that makes sense. He's like, "Oh, you looking for some dead bodies over there?"
Turns into Tina.
I can help you look if you're looking for something. I've been cleaning up here all day.
This one's good.
The final boss.
Yeah.
Christopher Walken janitor.
No, I think I'm good.
Oh.
I don't.
Okay, well, I'll go mop over here then.
Where?
Over here. Oh no, over there. I already did over here. I need to do over there. All right.
Did you not see all of the traumas that came in? Why are you not mopping the trauma bay?
I did them already.
Truly final boss. Well, it seems like this room is. It seems like the room is already pretty clean. So are you doubling back? You seem very efficient.
Yeah, I like to double it up because, you use those fancy sprays and sometimes the blood is gone, but when you use the sprays, it's still there. I worry about you guys using your sprays on the places I've cleaned and finding the blood. So I want to make sure that I'm getting it all. I'm gonna work. You look like you're busy, so I'm gonna work over there. And he kind of turns around and shuffles off and starts mopping in a corner with his back to you. Squeak, squeak. Squeak, squeak.
Sir.
What? Yes, sir. Dr. Lavelle.
What I call you?
I'm Jan.
Yeah.
You know me. I clean your lab.
Yes.
There's a lot of us around. I forget you sometimes too. It's okay, Dr. Franken.
I actually could use your help. And he like starts looking around, and whichever of the bodies he thought was like the most like likely to this is gonna be the least amount of effort. Fuck it. He's like, can you actually help me with all of the action in the ED today? Can we load this body up on one of these gurneys, and can you take it to my lab?
I would love to, Dr. Lavelle, but I gotta take my daughter hiking this weekend, and I don't want to hurt my back. It's her birthday, and she would be heartbroken.
No, I just need you to push the gurney with the wheels. It's no lifting.
Oh,
and
pushing.
And Fruman like puts his foot on the door and like his like pulls the body off and onto like one of like the gurneys. And then for again, people who don't know, when you're transporting bodies throughout the hospital, if you see just a box like moving through the hospital, we have like these racks that we put on top of the beds to just make it look like a box rather than a body. And so once it's on the stretcher and like Fruman puts the box and is like, you should have no problem. It's on wheels.
A clipboard falls out of my pocket and I say, my pushing hand. I heard it and I dropped this clipboard. Let me pick that up.
Fruman like looks over.
I picked it up and I'm like holding it kind of towards you.
He sees the what's the stretchy tape?
Like Coban?
Coban.
Yeah.
And so he's just like, just turn around.
Okay.
And he takes the Coban and goes a couple times around the waist and then like a couple times like around like the thing. And so now you're like set up like a horse with a carriage.
This is new.
Well, you can't lift. You can't push.
You know,
And so I'm assuming that if your hands and your back are the issue, that you should now be able to walk and take this to my lab. Can you open doors?
not with my pushing hand hurt.
Well, you pull doors.
It goes both ways, actually.
So it's both your push and your pull.
Goes both ways, actually. Excellent. I think you should leave reference.
You know, I think I would feel a lot better if I had someone help me with my clipboard. Could you hold this for me?
He takes it and then just puts it in your back pocket of your jumpsuit. And he actually he only touches it with like his finger and his thumb, as like he doesn't want to handle this.
Do you like cookies?
Jimmy almost killed RB.
My
What?
daughter is selling Girl Scout cookies. That's what my clipboard is.
He like reaches in to like pulls the clipboard out of like your ass pocket and is like 2 boxes of American Samoas. Or just Samoas. I was gonna say Camera the Lights and I was like, fuck that, they're not called that. And I was like, what are they called?
I think that Fruman does call them American Samoans.
Yeah, he probably does.
He's like the technical term.
We use the full name.
I appreciate your commitment to the... Actually, I think they're regional, aren't they? Depending on which manufacturer makes the cookies. They buy them from different places.
No, the Girl Scouts make the cookies.
Are you a Girl Scout? How do you know that? I've never heard that before.
They're called Girl Scout cookies.
I don't
Jan.
think they... But they don't make them.
I think you're confused. They don't make them as of like 2006, but this is 1998.
Oh.
We have tiny children in sweatshop bakeries
Oh.
making cookies. It's a travesty. We should set up better child protection laws.
I need to pull my daughter out of Girl Scouts then.
Probably.
I've
Maybe you should run home and do it right now.
I've been a bad father. How could I not have known that they're using my daughter in this way? I need to go home and tell her how sorry I am. She'd probably feel better if you bought 5 more boxes of cookies.
Okay.
How about this? Since the cookies are a scam, maybe just give me the money and I'll give it to her. And I'll take her out to her birthday for hiking, and it'll be her best birthday ever.
Fruman pulls out his wallet. Do you want me to roll luck to see how much money's in there?
Yeah, roll luck to see how much money's in there. Oh, hell yeah. You for sure.
That's a 21.
21, yeah. Yeah, how much money's in there?
$21.
$21. Yeah, I love that. $21.
It
And
is
he pulls
98.
out like the $1 to give it to you, and then I assume that you just like reach in and grab the 20,
20.
like,
Yeah.
and then I also give you the 1, and I'm just like, okay.
You know, for a tenner, I could do this faster and not tell anyone. Wink.
You just got $21, so you got 2 10s and a 1, a 10
I
tenner.
meant another one, but okay. You seem happy with me leaving. Thank you for the money. I'll tell my daughter you wished her a happy birthday and that you set her free from the chain of Girl Scouts.
And baking,
Yeah.
forced to bake for them. What is your daughter's name?
It's Genevieve. Genevieve Kelly.
Is Kelly your last name, or is it her middle name?
Yes.
I was wondering if you could remember Jan's last name.
It's Kelly.
Is it?
Yeah,
Okay, so it's Genevieve Kelly.
exactly. You mathed that out very well. Thank you, Dr. Lavelle.
Thank you,
And I give you a hug.
Jan Kelly. And as you hug, again, you have the Coban, like, and you're just dragging the thing around, and then you go to hug me. And Fruman is just arms straight to the side, straight up and down as you hug, and then waddle out with them.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Thank you, sir.
Perfect.
Well
That's
done.
perfect. Okay. I'm going to give you a brief narration of what happens, and then we're going to move to the next home scene, which is not going to be like this home scene at all.
Oh man.
5 minutes or 3 hours.
Yeah.
Two. I don't know when we
I
started.
think it's been 2 hours now, but that's fine. We're also getting warmed up. You take back this body, and this is not going to be a grip roll just because we're in home scene mode. And at the end of this, we're going to roll some luck and roll some grip to get back. But what you find when you take this body out after your discussion with Jan that you didn't notice is that you pull this body, you pull the box off, get it situated. It was a trauma shooting, it looks like. The tag on it has truth or consequence as the city that it's from. And when you pull this body out, at first you're just focused on getting the head off, right? Until you see that it's like a man in his late 30s with like this kind of slick back, greasy hair. That for a second,
Oh no, Jan.
you... yeah, you.
died on the way
Jan.
Roll grip. I was kidding.
I'm kidding. Fuck you guys.
I was dead the whole time.
Sixth sense.
Sometimes that's better.
Sometimes there's better. No, you recognize this person actually as John Jameson. In his little tiny baggie of items that have dropped out like with him from the thing, there is a business card for March Technologies. There is also a little device, like what they probably, my guess is somebody looked at it, they would think it's either a garage door opener or maybe, I don't know, 98. Do we have
A key fob?
Yeah,
I feel like
probably.
people had like the remote for their car alarms and stuff.
We had a 94 Dodge Caravan that had
Had a
it,
key
so-
fob.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, there you go.
So, or maybe like a really fancy key fob. But can you roll me an intelligence? And then there's one other thing.
That is a 56 on a 85.
You would realize after looking at this, kind of mulling it over in your hand, that this really looks like some sort of receiver, maybe for something that's maybe picking up, listening in on people or something. It is the receiver into that.
Is it? Do I see like a way to put in earbuds or headphones or something to plug in?
Yeah, you potentially could plug in earbuds to look at or to listen through to that. And then I think with a successful intelligence roll, you would also think to yourself that this looks very similar to a bug that you pulled out from under the car back in Hobbs, New Mexico. And then the very last thing.
Real fast.
Yeah.
I think Fruin actually has some in his desk, and I think he wants to plug it in right now, assuming because isn't Fredrickson obsessed with that?
Yes.
And so is it like swishing around in Fredrickson's pocket or something?
Oh, what are we? We're like a week out, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Fredrickson, I guess we can just kind of preempt my home scene in that, like, in the week after, Fredrickson is, like, really, like, other than something that I'll describe when we start mine, he's basically been at the green box and the camper van,
RV.
like kind of tinkering around, trying to organize things. So he's like pretty much around all that stuff all the time.
Then after listening for 10 minutes, you call Fredrickson, and there's immediate like feedback squeal,
Yeah, Fredrickson's like, what is going on? Just can't figure it out.
and you're like, I can hear you.
Hello.
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 It's like a little. And then the last thing you see is a key that is a door key for the one La Quinta in Truth and Consequences for a room 301.
Fruman frantically looks through the rest of his belongings, just hoping that there's another key.
Another key. Oh, roll me a luck.
Oh my god.
All of his items and stuff.
So no.
No.
Damn it.
Although his truck is ostensibly out there
Somewhere.
Yeah.
potentially around where this La Quinta is. What I will say is that he looked like he was violently murdered. There's like a gunshot wound to his chest. There's like a knife stabbing to his back. It's a pretty violent like death, it seems like, that got life flighted into UNM.
Fruman, I think, would then like investigate the rest of the trauma board then. Like he would go back at this point and be like,
And try to look through that stuff. I think
are there any other like violent injuries?
I think what we'll do is fade to black on that with the idea that you've got John Jameson's head and you're gonna use that. And
Ooh.
do you know what I mean? For like your thing. And then we're gonna fade to black to the idea of you patrolling the trauma boards for stuff and looking for things. But so now I think you've got Jane set up. You've got John Jameson's head set up to be used with Jane.
Truman, the fade to black as he crosses out the name. So it's Jane Audrey 2, Jane, he crosses out again, writes John Jameson.
Yeah, nice. Cool. And then you've got this key to the La Quinta in Truth and Consequences to room 301. Okay. So one of the places you could go is Truth and Consequences, if that's not clear.
It is clear. Yep.
Cool. Cool. Let's do yours then. Okay. So this is a message dated October 4th, 1998 at 3:34 p.m.
Hey T, it's Terry. You know Terry Main, your sister? Ringing any bells? Haven't heard from you since the funeral. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. We can come up with a plan of attack for Tuesday once you finally get here. We rented a U-Haul to get to clean out everything. I'm glad we were able to figure out some time to do this. You remember Mom's address, right? She was such a hoarder. Maybe bring one of your hazmat suits, huh? Well, I love you, and maybe let me know when you hit the road.
Sorry, what was the date on that?
October 4th, 1998, which is unfortunately the same day that you guys got the message from Eggert. So can you give me just like a really brief rundown of what you've done when you get home from things?
Yeah, so Fredrickson gets back from Hobbs, and in the back of his mind, he knows he needs to check his messages at the diner, and he needs to get back to his sister and apologize, but he is nothing if not avoidant. And so he gets back to the RV that's over the green box, and he comes up with kind of the dad list of things that you need to do around the house. He, like, for whatever reason, changes the oil on the RV, even though you never drive it. Like, he's like, moves. He makes a list and he's doing all of it, and that's like the last thing, and he finishes changing the oil on the RV that never gets driven. And this is about a week later. He is able to fill up about a week of time with various tinkering. At that point, he's like, okay, I should go to the, was it 66 Diner?
Yeah, 66 Diner.
Yeah. He's like, he knows he needs to go there, and he needs to check his messages, and he takes some responsibility. He can't really avoid it anymore. So he gets in the Suzu Rodeo and drives to the diner.
I think what we're going to do, though, is one scene prior to the diner.
Okay.
That scene is, and you can interact with this, I guess, as much or as little, I would say, as you want. You wake with a start, chest heavy, sleep paralysis preventing you from moving like trying to run underwater.
Hey, Teddy.
A familiar voice reaches out from a dark form spilling over the couch. You realize that you're in your lazy boy recliner, and it's the middle of the night. The smell of peppery oak and tobacco washes over Fredrickson, and it takes you a minute to place it, so familiar, yet also extremely distant, an echo of a memory. American Spirits Black. Brian.
Still not sleeping in bed after all these years, huh? I thought you'd outgrow that. You know, I don't see any pictures of me, of us in this RV. You trying to hide something? Forget something? You still keeping all that stuff in your mouth? Why did we break up again?
You were having what I would say to be like a hypnagogic something of this
Pompic.
Like shadow hypnopompic.
That's when you're waking up.
Dreamlike state.
Yeah.
What we can or we don't have to, but if you'd like to, and at any point we can wake you up, because I have kind of a wake up scene.
Before you go.
Correct. Do you want to have any discussion on mic with Brian about what happened, what was going on? Do you want any descriptions of things? Do you want to not leave that out? Whatever you want to do. I have 3 specific questions to give you some sense of things. My questions are, why did we break up again? When was the last time we saw each other? What did your mom and sister think about me?
Yeah, I think he would probably respond to the questions, but I think this is like not the first time this has happened, and so he like isn't going to interact with it a ton, but he will answer.
Can I tell you how this is different than times before?
Yeah.
It was you and Brian at the Custer County Fair.
Okay.
Which is the county that Chalice, Idaho is in, and it's in vivid colors. you're able to interact in a meaningful way. This is different.
Okay.
This Brian is a shadowy figure laying on the couch next to your lazy boy recliner.
Okay.
When you look at it, it's like moving in ways that they make you uneasy, kind of.
Okay.
So this feels a little different in a lot of ways than those previous dreams. Because, yeah, you have a lot of dreams about Brian, right? I think, though, that the reason that this shadowy thing feels different is that Brian in previous dreams was Brian of vibrant colors, being there, experiencing Brian, your memories of Brian.
Yeah.
This is Brian as a loss.
Okay.
As Brian gone.
Okay.
In some ways, when you hit that entity outside of Springfield and Cardiff's house, something was taken from you. And I told you guys that.
Yeah.
But you guys haven't really experienced what that meant. And this is your first experience with that. So instead of those vivid colors and memories, this is like you're back in your RV. You know what I mean? Like you're in the RV, not the place you want it to be.
Yeah.
This is like reality. This is your sad reality with a hole in it that's Brian shaped, if that makes sense. So do you want to talk about any of those things on mic or do any of that? Because we can.
Yeah.
Or we don't have to.
Yeah.
And I have a couple other ways to explore that too later. So
He's kind of rubbing his forehead and like tries to blink his eyes a couple of times to see if he can get this kind of apparition to go away. We've been over this. You were better off without me. I can't keep things around, Brian. It's too difficult.
I think honestly, there's just silence there.
He looks over and sees if because he has his eyes closed because he's trying to like wake himself up, kind of get himself out of this sort of dreamlike state. So he has his eyes closed. When he doesn't hear anything, he opens his eyes.
We see Brian, that shadowy, almost lack of being that was laying on the couch is gone. I think you hear the front door slam, and then you wake up really quick. And the waking up feels like your chest is tightening. You can't catch your breath as a sharp stabbing pain rips through your lungs. Every single alveoli feels deflated and you can't push enough air to fill them up despite your deep gasps. Phlegm covers your vocal cords, causing you to retch, but you can't even move enough air to produce a cough. You can feel yourself drowning in your own secretions, thickened and narrowed, bronchial tubing fighting against your own need to breathe. You wake up again in your recliner. The smell of tobacco seems to have evaporated as your mind clears itself. It's still dark out. The clock next to you flashes 3:34 a.m. The RV door's open. We see Fredrickson get up from this creaky lazy boy recliner, walk to the swinging door. And you know how there's those steps that lead outside the RV, the kind of shitty steps? Mm-hmm. You look down, and the thing you notice is that there's an empty, crumpled pack of American Spirits Black sitting right outside of your door, this open RV door, and then it blows away in the wind.
Roll grit.
I chase after it.
Yeah?
Yeah, I try to grab it.
Yeah, give me a dex roll. Give me athletics or dex.
So either way, 24 and a 60 or an 85. Either way.
So I think we see your form. What's Fredrickson wearing? What is he when he passes out in the lazy boy recliner? What's he wear?
He is wearing a pair of long socks with like a hole in one of them, a pair of boxers.
Yeah, I imagine they have like hearts on them. Maybe they're like from Target or
that,
Walmart
or they're just like blue striped.
Oh, sure.
Like very basic boxers.
Like Hanes.
Yeah.
It came in the package of like the blue and white stripe, the light blue, and then like the gray.
And then he's got a t-shirt on that.
And they don't fit at all, right? Like the legs are giant.
Yeah, they're way too big somehow, even though he's like a really large person. Dude, and then he's got a t-shirt on that has like a drool mark on it, but the t-shirt is Tommy Bahama. Like it just says Tommy Bahama on it. He doesn't know where he got it. Nobody knows where nobody knows that anybody has ever made this shirt before. But
it's definitely not a Tommy Bahama shirt.
Somehow he felt like it just says it like printed.
You're able to,
and he's got like one side of his hair is sticking straight up in the back because he fell asleep on the recliner. Yeah, and he's got like kind of puffy face from sleeping, and he's like sort of stumbled down the stairs, and I know the door was already open, but he like pushed it open more and was stumbling down the stairs. He sees this American Spirits pack kind of blowing away, and he sort of does the thing where he's like half running, stumbles, and is like running on all fours and standing up and runs a little bit more and tries to grab it.
Yeah, he's able to grab the pack, and it's there. There is an American Spirits black pack that reminds you of Brian. I mean, it's what
Yeah.
Brian
And
always
then he
smoked.
just brings it inside and like puts it in a drawer in the kitchen.
Okay. Is he able to fall back to sleep after that?
Oh,
Yeah.
no, he like stays up. He ends up like going down into the green box and like moving stuff around into a different spot for no reason for 3
Sure,
hours. And
kinda
then it gets like
cataloging
6 in the
something,
morning.
yeah.
And then he's like, I know the diner's open, so I'm just going to go there.
Okay, cool.
He also I think he throws up. Yeah, he like puts the American spirits in the thing. He goes to the bathroom. He throws up. He swishes some mouthwash. He takes a shower. And he's like, well,
I'm up.
Did he have anything in his bell? Or
no,
was it just
I think
like
it's
the
just bile.
strictly bile.
It's just yellow.
the-
Yeah. He ate like some Lucky Charms at like 11 a.m. the day before, and that's the only thing he's eaten. Yeah.
Lucky Charms. That's good.
Cool.
Did he like pick out the cereal and just leave the marshmallows? And
Yeah.
he just eats. Yeah. There you
He's
go.
like, whatever, I'm an adult, I can do it. Yeah, so he gets in the Red Azusa Rodeo at like 6:25 in the morning and drives, 20 minutes maybe?
Yeah, I think so, because he has to like get.
Yeah, because he's kind
Because
of
you
out in
guys
the
are
middle of
out in
nowhere.
the middle of nowhere by
Yeah.
the Sandia Mountains, is what we had initially said. So you have to like drive into town to get to the 66 diner.
Yeah, and he opens the door. There's a bell above the door, goes off, and he sees
Norm.
Norm.
Nice, nice. Okay.
And he kind of breathes out a bit of a sigh of relief when he sees Norm, and he goes and sits down next to him.
This diner is a kitschy throwback to the 50s, right? So it's black and white checkerboard, turquoise leather seats, the neon signs everywhere of stuff. You know, they serve like root beer floats, and the girls are all on. They're in like the dress, like the little skirts,
poodle skirts and roller skates.
roller skates, exactly. And the 6 a.m. crew, because this is a 24/7
Pinball
Yeah.
machines.
This there's pinball machine and jukebox.
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
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 And the jukebox is
With
playing
like
like
the spinning like vinyl record.
Yeah.
Yeah, it actually has the vinyl,
and
not the
it's playing,
CDs.
like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's playing like, I don't know, the like
Four Tops.
yeah. And the 6 a.m. wait staff is not the best that the 66 diner has to offer, is what I'd imagine. So
Is it a 24-hour?
yeah, it's 24 hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, and that's, that's one of the things, right? They're like, we're open for forever. We always have a pot of Folgers coffee ready to fucking go for people. You guys sit down. What's Norm doing? Give me a description of Norm. And
Yeah, so I think Norm is probably like average or a little bit low average height, maybe like 5'8". He is definitely like a chronic, like, he is probably like 60 years old and has like 100 pack year smoking history. But he tries not to smoke whenever Fredrickson's around because he knows Fredrickson quit. And so he's like, oh, okay, I gotta.
Nice.
But he
Yeah.
still like reeks like cigarettes. So there's
Right.
still like, yeah, he's thin. He has one of those like, those like puffy kind of, I don't know if it was nylon or what jackets that were like a thing in the 80s.
yep.
And it has like a logo for, I don't know, what was Johnsy's shop? Johnsy's
Oh God.
whatever.
I think it was Johnsy's Chop Shop, wasn't it?
Johnsy's Chop Shop, a chopped beef sandwich shop, auto
Yeah.
mechanic shop.
Yep. Actually, what I'm going to say is his logo on his shirt just says K Tilt Fig. Is that what it was?
Toby T's,
yeah,
I love
Kate
this
Tilton.
bar and grill.
That's what the logo is. He doesn't like work there and have anything to do with it, but that's what he's wearing.
Yeah, sure.
Has like thin brown hair, no facial hair, but it's kind of just like grizzled a little bit looking.
Yeah.
Just has
It
that
was
like
pockmarked a little bit.
yeah, just like that kind of thin, like smoker
Yeah.
look. But so he is sitting there in like the booth where he always sits, and he sees the rodeo pull up, and he's like, "That son of a bitch!" And he has like a pot of coffee in his cup, and then he like walks up to the counter and just grabs another mug and like pours one out.
Yeah.
And when Fredrickson walks in, he's like, "Hey, the prodigal motherfucker returns."
Hell yeah. And here's a question, because it's something that I've been doing, is that I think everybody, because you don't have an identity, everybody in your life calls you different things.
Okay.
So Brian calls you Teddy. Your sister calls you T. The Delta Green people know you as Fredrickson. It's like you have so many identities that you just basically don't have an identity
Yeah.
at this point. So what does Norm call Thaddeus?
I don't know, I guess
at
how
this
would
point?
you have
That's
introduced yourself
depressing
to
as
him?
shit.
Oh, this is depressing.
Oh yeah,
this is not
my
going
life
to be
is very
uplifting
sad.
at all. So
I think that you call me Thad. Like, you know, my
Okay,
name is
yeah.
Thaddeus.
Yeah.
But that's like, you're the only person that calls me Thad. And I
Yeah.
introduce myself as Thad, and you don't know my last name.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm like, I don't say that though. I just
Yeah.
say prodigal motherfucker.
I love that. Okay.
Yeah. And I like kind of breathe out a bit of a sigh of relief. And I walk over to the booth, plop down.
Where you been?
You don't want to know, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. How's it going?
You know, same old stuff. Susie missed her evening shift last night. The Wienermobile came through the parking lot the other day.
No fucking way.
Yeah. I went outside. They let me sit in the front.
Did you drive it?
No.
Yeah.
I had to wait for some kids to get out of the seat though.
Took
But
one look at you and they said, hell no.
yeah, you know, it's fair. I don't drive much anymore. I don't want a wrecked Wienermobile on my record.
That would be bad. He kind of chuckles a little bit. He's
Yeah.
like, is Marge here?
Yeah.
You're gonna be Trey. I'll be Marge. Hey, dear. I got this another thing. I think your sister's trying to talk to you. You should probably call her back or something. Yeah, Terry, your sister. She's trying to talk to you. Here you go. And then what's gonna happen is she hands you 3 pieces of paper.
Okay.
You've heard the first one
Which is the one before
that we just said. Fredrickson knows these 3. I'm not going to tell you guys the next 2, until we get to the next part of the story. So she hands 3 pieces of paper to you
Okay.
of those messages that your sister has left.
Okay.
I think we see Fredrickson look down at them and grimace.
Yeah. He's reading it and he goes, oh no. Like his head hits the back of the booth. He just takes a long swig of coffee and shoves the messages like into his pocket and just stares at the ceiling for about 30 seconds.
Norm holds out a cigarette to you.
Fuck it. And I take the cigarette.
I smack it out of your hand.
I'm like, you fucker.
You know, you got to have some agency, but I can't let you do that again.
You ever been to Idaho?
I have a feeling I'm about to.
I gotta go up there to take care of some stuff.
You want some company?
Can't hurt.
Excellent.
Are you willing to drive the rodeo? I know you couldn't drive the Wienermobile, but do you think we could take turns driving?
Yeah. I mean, there's a big difference between a giant hot dog and a normal car.
The Isuzu Rodeo is not a normal car.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, well, let's
Yeah,
a little bit
hold on, but
normal
sure.
car. And he like puts the quotes up.
I look at you and I'm like, is that a pun on my name? Whatever, let's just go.
I like order some breakfast. Eat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Do you need to go to your house?
No.
I have no like. I'm like house, apartment, tent.
Yeah, something like that.
Which one?
Getting on my shows. I sleep in a tent in my apartment.
That's fine.
And I just
This needs some levity, or
Yeah,
else
I
there's
just,
going
like,
to be a
I
slog
just,
of
like,
depressing shit.
stare at you, and I like sort of shake my head. I'm like, so you don't need to go there?
Nah, it's fine. I don't have anything worth stealing. Everybody knows it's my house. It's whatever.
You're okay. He's like just bewildered completely.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't have any pets. I don't have any family.
Like, all right, well, thanks for the company.
I guess I could have also said, yeah, I'm already home and just kind of gesture broadly at the
Yeah.
diner.
Cool. You guys get in the truck. You are now going to take the 14-hour drive to Chalice, Idaho together, which is great. I think we're going to have one very, very brief scene. And then what I'd like to do is introduce Trey at outside of the house. What I will say.
Oh.
Yeah.
I do think before I leave, I think Trey should have been one of my bonds.
Just put it on your
Yeah, I'll make one. I think I have his number.
Okay.
And so I don't call my sister because again,
Yeah, I think
I'm like,
you are.
I'm like avoid.
This is
I'm
not-
like,
yeah,
I
avoid
can't
me.
deal with this. But I know I'm going up there and I like need somebody to help me get into the house because I don't think I have a key to my mom's house.
Yeah, sure.
And so I'm like, hey, because I know you just like, you're like the town, everybody, like whatever, you're the town golden retriever.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah, I think I literally have that written down.
yeah.
Trey's
And
the
so
golden retriever.
I'm like, hey, Marge, can I use the phone?
Oh, yeah, that's totally fine if you want to use our phone.
I'm like, okay. And I call Trey.
Bring,
Bring,
bring.
bring, 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 bring.
Holy
Holy shit.
Yeah.
It's been a minute.
I know, I'm sorry.
No apologies. I love hearing from you.
Well, I'm headed up there. So, I need to come...
To come here and help me?
What are you doing?
I'm at your mom's house.
Currently, as we speak?
You haven't been here, and your sister called, and I knew you would be here at some point, and I wanted to make sure that things were good between you two. So I've started on the front room. I didn't want to do anything private or personal.
Yeah. You know what? Why don't you just stop until I get up there? You don't need to be doing this for me. But
You're my brother. I'm happy to.
Okay. I'm heading up there with my friend Norm. We're driving up there now. There's 2 of us driving, so hopefully we can get there by tomorrow.
All right. Well, I'll just wrap the furniture with like the cling wrap or whatever, the saran wrap, and again I won't touch anything personal.
You really don't have to do that, but I'll see you in a little. I'll see you tomorrow.
All right. Excited to see you.
You too.
All right. Bye.
You guys get in the car and you start driving. This is going to be an all-day drive, obviously. You take turns. There is one... When you take turns, though, as older guys, I feel like you're probably like sleeping in the back, potentially, at least every once in a while.
I thought you were going to make a prostate joke, like pulling over to pee every 35 minutes.
You got to jack off every 15 minutes. Roll jack off. Clear out your prostate. The one thing I will say is that you pass out in the back seat at one point, 8 hours into it, and you have that same wake up, I can't breathe. I can't. I have phlegm covering my ability to breathe. My lungs are burning because they have deflated and I can't reinflate them. And it's that sleep paralysis again, that hypnopompic dream happens where now Norm is up front smoking a cigarette with the windows down, both sides. And that emptiness, that Brian-shaped emptiness is sitting in the front seat. And you can hear murmuring between the two of them as if they're talking about something. And you strain to try to wake up, and you can't.
Can I talk?
No. That coalesces into one thing. And it's the black Brian-shaped thing looks back at you and says,
I think you're going to see things are a bit different, Teddy. A bit different indeed.
And then you wake up.
I'm like, pull over. I need to throw up.
Yeah, do I need to roll drive to not wreck the rodeo?
No,
Yeah.
There's probably going to be almost no
I
rolling
very
in this,
deftly
so.
pull over.
And
Quickly and safely.
Open up the side door or the back door, and I throw up out of the side of the car. And I just throw up like coffee. And like hash browns.
October 5th, 1998, 10:06 p.m.
All right, T. Call me when you get this. I don't know if you're dead on the side of the road or you completely fucking forgot about things, but I need you to show up for this. You have responsibilities to fulfill. I don't think I could do this on my own. Maybe you would know this if you called, but Trevor just moved out. The kids went to bed crying because they thought you'd be here. You always do this. I just need you to show up.
Were you talking to someone?
Singing along with the radio?
La Bamba blares from the radio.
La Bamba.
You like pretend you know the Spanish parts, but you don't actually know. Like, sa-ba-dee-dee-ba-ba-boo.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys are able to make it to Chalice. You get to your mom's place. You roll up in the Suzu. I'm going to give you a very brief description of your mom's place. I think that... Well, actually, what do? Do you roll up to your mom's place? Because it's like a 14-hour drive. You guys left at like 6:30 in the morning, 6:45 in the morning. So you're going to get there at 8 o'clock at night. Do you think you roll up to your mom's place, or do you think you roll up to Trey's place, or do you think you go to a hotel? I know for a fact you're not going to your sister's.
No, I go to my mom's place because I don't want to spend money on a hotel. And I know Norm doesn't have any money. So... I'm like, we'll just sleep here. I know it's like a hoarding situation, but we'll just sleep on the ground.
Trey's there,
Yeah, they're just there.
and he has like a cooler full of beers.
Yeah.
and he sort of calculated, and he had just cracked the first one, and he's just like sitting on the porch when you roll up and he's like, I'm not gonna let you do this, like, let me in.
Hey man, and I do kind of the back pat hug, but I imagine you hug me very tightly.
I was gonna say you try to do that, and then he's like,
because you're quite a bit larger than me,
and actually holds.
Yeah.
And like whatever you do, but he's gonna hold for like a good 4 count.
Yeah. And I think I gained sanity back from this hug.
A second or two, and you're like, all right.
Yeah, I think he like tries to resist, and he just kind of, you feel him kind of go limp, and he's like, okay.
Yeah, I like that.
Then he goes to the cooler and like tosses you each a beer.
What this is it's dark now, right? Because this is October in Idaho. It's kind of cold. You have a single story 1970s ranch house that looks like it's the, like, to me 1970s color is like dark greens and browns of like wood paint and orange. Those are like the three
and
colors.
The cream as like a contrast.
Yeah, and those are the colors of this house.
Yeah,
on
and
the
there's
outside,
a lot of yellowing
and the inside.
of all the things.
Yes, because your mom obviously smoked like a chimney, right?
She was just old Smokey Joe.
Yeah, truly.
Just truly.
The outside of this house is unkempt. There's dandelions growing up. There's grass. It looks like nobody's mowed. It's a single story ranch house, and it looks like it's poorly taken care of. I think we open up the door and you see that there's a front room. The front room is just filled with shit. Not shit, but like stuff. Like newspapers, right? Like old McDonald's toys, like just shit.
Yeah,
like
a hoarding
it's
situation.
hoarding.
Yeah.
She was a hoarder.
There's
and-
like random shoes at the top of the piles of stuff.
Yep.
And,
Yep. And your sister, I think, or your relationship with your sister, was she tried to fix these things, and I think you tried to go away.
I just was like, pretend they don't exist.
Yeah. So this house is chock full of just stuff. And so walking into the house, it doesn't smell very good. It smells really like stale cigarettes, and it doesn't smell like rotting or anything like that. It just smells like mildew. It smells like, funk that's been there. There's all these newspapers everywhere. It looks like there used to be a front room with a TV. It's got like those old wooden TVs that are there. The kitchen has just shit everywhere. It's a lifetime put into a house. There is mail that's been stacked up, and it looks like your sister's handwriting has keep, shred, figure out. And those are put in. So there's bills, there's, ads, there's all of that stuff.
And I think that Trey has, again, because you've like now like wrapped a couch and taken it out, and I think that he's only gotten like 4 feet in and has like organized just that.
Just this like tiny little piece, and it was like a fucking like monumental thing to do. I think we see you guys survey the house, right? And so when you survey the house, you have this front room that's a mess, this kitchen that's a mess. You get to your old bedroom, and then you and your sister shared a bedroom.
And it's just all walking through paths.
It's paths.
Yeah.
Like a foot and a half wide
that's
between.
And it's like
we
up
have
to
to kind of
almost
like scoot a little bit, like Trey and I do, because we're both pretty big dudes. We're like
guys.
almost like we touch almost on both sides.
Yeah.
Brother, I've been working for 3 days, and this is as far as I've got.
You still work with the volunteer fire department?
Yeah.
Do you need a training exercise?
That's dark. You don't mean that. There's memories here.
I know. Well,
Takes a long swig of beer.
I think you guys make it to your old bedroom and your sister's bedroom. There's the bunk bed that you guys slept in that you eventually moved out of, and it's just covered in stuff too. When you make it to your mom's room, though, I think your mom's room does not show evidence of hoarding near to the level of anything else. It is the space that she kept for herself.
Yeah.
It was the one piece of control she had in her life was the bedroom. So the bedroom's actually pretty well put together. There's an unfinished crossword puzzle on the side table. There is her bed that looks like somebody made it. There is, we'll say, her bathroom, and there is an old clawfoot tub. There is just the smallest speck red line of blood on the tub that looks like somebody tried to clean off. You know that she had a stroke, fell, cracked her head, bled out, and that was it, right? And there's just a little bit left. So it looks like at least somebody, maybe Trey, maybe your sister, tried to clean that off. And that was probably the first thing that anybody went after, right? Out of all the stuff that's happening. So you get there, you go to the basement. The basement's an absolute mess with a bunch of stuff. Yeah. My question is, do you start going through things now at 9 o'clock at night, or do you think you wait for the next day?
I think I would go to wherever I have kept the things, like my pictures with Brian, just to make sure they're still there, because it's like sort of fresh in my mind.
Sure. There's 3 things I'm going to have you pick up.
Okay.
You go through the boxes in the basement where that stuff is. The first thing you pick up is a box that you recognize. It's got like Christmas stuff on it. Inside is a Christmas ornament of a star shooting over like Jesus in a manger. The center of a star is a picture. The picture is of 2 children, a boy and a girl, around the ages of 10, dressed up in clearly thrifted hand-me-down clothing. And a 30-year-old woman is in like this awful, loud green and brown Christmas blazer. The boy and girl are wrestling as the woman looks on with like a look of part exasperation, but like part joy, really. Yeah. You know that your mom chose this picture out of all of the other 10 pictures showing you guys in like a perfect pose because she wanted you guys, not whatever JCPenney's had created, right? The other thing is a shoebox labeled T, and it's a bunch of pictures of a young Fredrickson at his first day on the job at the Chalice Fire Department. There's a nice little... you have a windbreaker on that says Chalice, Idaho, FD. And then the last thing is a box of VHS tapes. One of those VHS tapes is labeled Custer County Fair, 1977. What you remember is that your sister was trying to get into art school at that time, so she had saved up for this fancy VHS recorder, because that's new. She decided she was going to make movies about regular people, so she followed you to the county fair and found you on camera with Brian. Okay. And that's how you were outed to your family.
Okay.
So what I'd like is a very brief description of that scene.
Of the county fair?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Yeah. So what year is this?
1977.
77. So I'm like 20s.
Yeah, I think so. And what does Brian look like? I have no idea what Brian looks like.
I don't know. Because I'm like, he looks like a
fucking shadow.
Because I'm like a very like standard light brown hair cowboy looking guy, like pretty tall, like 6'4".
Yeah, big dude.
Brian is like 6 feet tall, not like a rugged type, like 6 feet tall, 170. So I look like Heath Ledger and he looks like Jake Gyllenhaal. And we are in Brokeback Mountain. I don't know. He's just like a pretty like average looking, like dark hair, olive skin, like 6 foot tall dude who like grew up in a non-ranching family. Yeah. Like he doesn't have like sort of the outdoorsy ruggedness that I have.
City folk for
but
Chalice,
he's from
Idaho.
Chalice, but
right.
he's just like his dad like worked at the bank. Yeah.
I'm gonna add that he has tortoiseshell glasses and a scraggly beard with a little shock of white on the left side of his jaw.
Yeah.
The Custer County Fair has like a Ferris wheel. Mm-hmm. It's dark out. There's lights, everywhere. There's like, you can hear the games playing in the background. People are playing that like spray gun game and it's like falling down. People are shooting skeet ball. And I think that we see in the back of, you can describe this scene to me, but that's in my imagination, it's clandestine, right? Because it's 1977.
Yeah. So I think like it's like actually pretty innocent, but like very obviously that we're not just friends. Like we're in this tent like playing, like I just finished playing like a ring toss game or something, and I win it and I'm like going to pick out the bear, I just like put my hand down and our pinkies like intertwine, and she zooms in on that and then zooms out. And zooms in on that and then zooms out. And that's...
And I think what happens is that she does that, and in the way that, like, you guys are young, she thinks she's recording something, doesn't understand the gravity of the situation. I think she follows you guys out of the tent after you win that, and you guys share a cigarette.
Yeah.
And we see you guys, like, kiss.
Yeah.
And I think that it's like, it stops there because she kind of, you know, it's 1977. She doesn't really know what to do. And that dredges up those memories of everything that you dealt with. I think, though, when you play that video, what actually happens is that pinky touch that you remember never occurs in the video.
Okay.
So that just never happens.
Mandela effect.
And then we follow you out smoking a cigarette with Brian. And that moment that you have clearly in your head where you kiss, Brian leans in and kisses another woman.
Oh.
And then we see something that stops you in your tracks. It's Brian, and he turns and looks at the camera and he says,
Hey, Teddy, none of this is real. You know none of this is real. I mean, nothing's really felt real since you saw that green fire. Since that green fire saw you. Since that green fire saw through you. But I guess feeling real isn't the same thing as being real, huh? Anyways, I'm still out here, Teddy. We're still out here, Teddy. Her name's Anna, Teddy, and she's perfect. You joke about her looking like me, but we know she sounds just like you. That's because we raised her right. All that doubt you had about being a father, it's water under the bridge. Why don't you come visit us, Teddy? We're in Taos. We're waiting for you. You've met the shadow. You've met the child. Well, now it's time to visit the creator, the author who sits atop the mother. All you gotta do is follow the green eye. I think you'll be happier here in Taos, Teddy. Why don't you come visit us?
and then there's just this like rewind of the video.
You motherfucker.
Sorry.
Do you want me to send that to you so you can read it?
Yeah, no, I mean, yes. But in the video, he's kissing a woman our age, or...
Yes.
Okay. And then, but I'm assuming Anna is a child.
You have no fucking clue who Anna is.
Okay. Okay. I'm just trying to make sure that he wasn't like kissing the head of like a little kid.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
This is like another adult woman.
And but then he looks at me and says what you just said. So like, okay. Wow. That's really bad for him.
Woof, that was so good.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming I don't know that I would have played this video in front of either of you.
That's fine. I think that you could have played it just like while you're down there. It's not a long video, right?
Yeah, because I think I knew it was on the video.
Yeah, and you wanted to see it by yourself.
Yeah. I rewind it and played again.
It's the same thing. He doesn't look at you anymore to say that to the camera, but it's the same thing of him kissing another woman. I think we see, if you're okay with this, Fredrickson then starts to go through the rest of his stuff, pictures of him with Brian, and all of these pictures that were you and Brian sharing something have become you and Brian more as friends. And some of those pictures that you remember of post-college are just no longer there.
Okay.
It's like Brian was fundamentally changed in your life.
Yeah. By something. And you have these memories of things that are different from the ones that are put in front of you. Yeah. Okay.
I'm just going to read the last part. What do you do? Do you guys want to do anything else with this? Because like that was, I have one other.
No, I think I just am like, I sigh. I bring those tapes out to the car.
Sure.
I don't destroy them. I keep them because I'm like, something weird's happening with this.
Yeah, right.
Right.
The unfortunate reality is you're so indoctrinated into Delta Green that this is like weirdness.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. Like I'm very sad, obviously, but like I'm like this is something I can't explain, so I need to bring it back. So I bring the box of the tapes out to the car. I put it in the back. I write down as much as I can remember of what he said because he didn't say it the next time.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just go back in and I'm like, cracking open another beer, and I'm like, looks like we're pulling an all-nighter.
Nice. Love that. Cool.
Pretend it didn't happen and
then move on.
yeah. And I think in my head, I'm trying to decide, I'm sort of torn between whether I want to go ask my sister about that video, or do I want to talk to her at all or just leave?
October 6th.
T, I don't know where you are. I don't know why you haven't come. I need you to take care of this. I can't. Mom's house needs to be cleaned out. You missed the dying part. You missed the grieving part. You can at least do the cleaning part. Don't contact me till it's done.
It's now dark out. The camera pans up to a house. The mailbox reads Maine on the side. We see a large man in an ill-fitting Chalice, Idaho Fire Department windbreaker, huffing his way up the stairs to a forest green front door of a rundown, modest one-story house. He almost trips up the stairs on one of many toys strewn across the front yard. Through the curtains of the front bay window, there is the soft glow of the TV and two child-shaped shadows running around. Peals of children's laughter ring out, loud enough to be heard outside. There are the muffled sounds of dinner plates clanking as a table is being set. The front door light is off. No company is expected. Fredrickson slowly, carefully lifts a hand to open the screen door while balancing a box filled with two small plushies bought from a CVS down the street next to the star-shaped ornament of his family. We see him deeply sigh, lift his hand up to knock on the door, hesitate, and before he can knock, camera fades to black. And that's the end of your home scene.
All right, so for FP's home scene, I'm imagining, and I don't remember if I mentioned this on air or not, but essentially FP has a place near Conscious Lake, which is in the northeastern corner of New Mexico. It's a 25-mile-long reservoir, and I'm imagining that probably some time ago, a number of years, FP used some of his drug money to buy a plot of land that's maybe like 20 acres, large enough that he can kind of be secluded on it. The property is completely undeveloped, and he did it that way on purpose. He doesn't want to draw attention to it. It's basically his kind of retreat from drug life, from dealer life, all that stuff when he wants to just get away from things. So essentially the lake is kind of like a backwards L shape, going from like north to south, with the flat part of the L going, off to the west. And so there's a town on the eastern shore of the vertical L line. And I'm imagining FP's property is more on the northwest, kind of in the crook, or above the flat part of the L, opposite of the town. He doesn't want to be near the town. He kind of wants to be off in his own little area, but he can, take a boat to town or drive around the lake if he wants. And so as he rolls up in his black, stolen Back to the Future truck, we see a bizarre Frankenstein's monster of a vehicle, which is FP's pride and joy, his boater home. If anyone wants to know what a boater home is, just Google boater home. It's like motorhome, but with boater at the start. BOATER home. And you will see exactly what I'm talking about. I can't remember if I've described it on air before or not. I may have, but essentially the way that I have it set in my mind is that it's the weird van boat hybrid, but it's painted like the Pork Chop Express from Big Trouble in Little China. It's got like the white background with blue and yellow striping and a pink cartoon pig on the side. Hey, what's up? You made it.
Well, goddamn, brother. This is great. Quiet, lakeside, I think Bertram and I can really attune our inner and outer chakras here.
Sure. Glenn, you mentioned something the other day about freediving? I've been thinking I need to get more disciplined. I've been thinking if I want to live through whatever the fuck this all is, I need to get my shit together.
Uh-huh. Don't we all? I wouldn't really say Bertram and I are kind of the shit together type of people.
Man, I'm serious, Glenn. I mean, everything we just did, everything that happened at Cardiff, that all happened because I lost my shit at the wrong moment. It only took an instant, and everything went up in flames. I don't want to be a liability like that again. I need some kind of special training, or make a personal pursuit of it to focus my mind so I don't lose it again. Something to help me maintain control even in crazy circumstances. And I thought maybe your freediving stuff could help with that. You know, mind, body, breath connection, be present, center your breathing, focus on your breathing, sense what you're feeling in the moment and try to calmly control it as best you can despite the imminent threat of drowning, either literally or metaphorically. Because I felt like I've been drowning in whatever this shit is for the past week now.
Concentration is a form of communion with your own corpus. You know, they say as above, so below, and I bet getting more comfortable below the water could help with everything you got going on above your neck there.
Yeah, so basically what I'm imagining is FP and Glenn, you know, like sitting on the shore of Conscious Lake, doing breathing exercises, FP trying to learn how to be more aware of the tension that builds up when he's holding his breath, how that physical sensation affects his thoughts and sense of anxiety. You know, they always say that, like, inability to catch your breath is one of the most anxiety-inducing sensations that a human can have. It's why waterboarding is so terrible.
Yeah.
So he's trying to get familiar with, like, how does that feel? How do you maintain your calm in that stressful situation? And kind of the flip side of that, he's trying to get familiar with, you know, how it feels when he's like blowing lots of CO2 off, you know, with rapid, deep breaths. How does that affect his thinking? How does he maintain focus of thought despite feeling a little woozy? You know, just whether it's anxiety, whether it's sort of just mental
just anything.
offness and dizziness. He's trying to like learn how to maintain his center in that environment. And he's doing that through this free diving, learning how to control himself and all that. So anyway, after a day or two of just the breath exercises, they move into practical exercises. They take a little raft that FP has out into the lake. FP starts doing actual diving and breath holding exercises underwater with the intention that would, raise his POW and his willpower and his maximum grip.
Yeah, so I think rules as written would have you try to roll a POW and then you'd have to fail to get it. There'd be some bond loss if you did. But like I said before, we're not doing that because we don't play Delta Green. We play Delta Peen. And our rules are that you guys get to automatically increase stuff during home scenes. So your power increases by 1 as we see FP and Glenn spend an extended period of time learning how to hold their breath, how to remain calm in scary situations. And this represents you taking this knowledge and thinking about it, kind of applying it to the situations that you had before. Like, I would have done this, or I could have done this instead.
So I also wanted to do a bit of family stuff. I don't think I've said this on air, but for a while in my mind now, FP's brother is a psychiatrist who works around Conscious, named Richard Reed.
Sweet.
They're twins, because that's fun.
Sick.
And so I think one morning, retcon this, probably the first morning that FP is back in Conscious, which in game I think would be the day after he called his brother, asking him to tell Mom I love her if he hadn't survived the final showdown with Cardiff and the Critter crew.
Right.
So FP gets up early, puts on like a nice charcoal suit with like a sort of soothing, therapeutically toned, light blue and green tie, gets in his Back to the Future truck and drives to his brother's office. I think FP has this thing where he likes to stop by his brother's office from time to time and pretend to be him. But all the staff know it's FP because instead of Richard Reed or Dr. Reed, he always introduces himself as Dick Reed. Okay. He also acts nothing like his brother when he does this and does stuff like brings donuts for the staff because he knows they love it. And he just kind of likes to schmooze. And he genuinely does. I think FP's a nice guy at heart. Despite his rough edges sometimes, just wants to brighten their day. Right. And he also thinks it's hilarious to fuck with his brother, who is much more serious and put together.
So first, while you were saying that, I was looking up like clinics in that area, and it's a bummer, but there's not a lot of medical care there. So I'm kind of basing this off of what I've seen maybe in the Lake of the Ozarks, which is I feel like these clinics usually have moved into some old building, like one that wasn't initially built for that, like you could have them in like probably not a Taco Bell, but still like something like that. So we see like a stucco building and we watch FP go in and the door opens up. It's like a old timey door meant for maybe like a malt shop or something, because I have that sound. So we hear the ring of the door as you open it up.
FP gets there like right as the secretary or nurse or whoever are opening the clinic for the day. I'm imagining it's like a small like group practice, maybe a couple of partners or whatever. So they open the office whether or not Richard's there. And FP like walks in, within 30 seconds of the door opening with like this kind of over the top, sassy, fake, pompous walk that he does whenever he's playing this up. What a damn beautiful day in Conscious, New Mexico.
Good morning, Dr. Reed.
Dr. Reed? My father was Dr. Reed. Please, call me Dick Reed.
Oh, of course. Good morning, Dick Reed.
What do you mean, Helen? Are you wishing me a good morning, Dick Reed, whether I want a Dick Reed or not? Or are you saying it's a good morning to be a Dick Reed on? Dr. Dick Reed brought the donuts. Where's the coffee? Are we still carrying that dry crystal shit that you know I love so much? Fucking crystals.
No, your brother, Dr. Dick Reed. Don't you remember springing for nice coffee this month? You said that you wanted something higher quality as we transition into autumn.
Of course. That sounds like something I, Dr. Dick Reed, would say. Thank you, Helen, for reminding me. Well, I'm gonna go check my messages in my office. And if you see anyone trying to impersonate me, stall them for a moment, will you?
Well, of course.
Okay, bro. Sorry I haven't talked to you in a while. I got a new job, working for the government. It's kind of dangerous. I don't know if I'll talk to you again, but if I do, if you don't hear from me, I don't know. Tell Mom I'm sorry, I guess, that I didn't do better. But I'm turning my life around. If I get through this, I'll give you a call. I'll pay you a visit, maybe in a couple of days. Love you, buddy. Bye. Damn. I really was ready to die. What the fuck? I mean, I've never exactly lived a safe life, but like fighting goo monsters and quados and horned zombie bears, I don't even know what to say about that. That sounds made up, and yet I lived it. Well, dwelling on it's not going to help.
Messages deleted. You have no new messages.
Oh, fuck. Fuck. Did I just delete all of his messages? Shit. Undo.
Good morning, Dr. Reed. No, these donuts are from the shop next door. Why am I talking like
Shit.
this? What do you mean? The volume of my voice?
Ow! Cheese and crackers, my fucking elbow.
Okay. Do you think FP gets anything back from all of that?
Oh, no. Sorry, I was just fucking around with the story and forgot we're supposed to actually be doing self-improvement
scenes?
stuff.
Yeah.
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 So I think the other thing I'd like to do is get some grip back, because mine's pretty low. And I guess where I was going with the whole FP stops by his brother's office to delete the message he left is that he wanted to kind of like clean up his own personal life. I think he'd like to reconnect with his brother at some point, but he realizes that he just kind of trauma dumped on his brother via that voicemail in the moment because he was pretty uncertain about whether or not he was going to survive. Jimmy, was at least very uncertain, like legit wondering if I'd need to roll up another character.
Thank you.
But yeah, so at any rate, FP, wanted to erase the message since he survived, kind of just alleviate his brother from any of that stress.
Sure.
And the real reason that he dressed up was, and the way he's going to get grip back is by visiting his mom, telling her about how, despite being in a very fucked up, unnatural, Delta Greeny kind of way, he's finally turned his life around and is working towards something positive, or at least he thinks he is, actually doing some good in the world now.
Because I am a capricious god, I'm going to roll a 1d6, and you're going to add it to your grip. That's a 5, baby. Okay, give me a 5 grip scene then.
Hey, Mom. I brought your favorite caramel long john with that Bavarian cream filling you like, so I'll set this here on the ground, I guess, so that birds or squirrels or whatever can eat it and shit and piss all over the ground. Keep the area above your grave fertilized, or whatever. You always love flowers, and maybe all that'll help some grow, I guess. I probably should have just brought flowers instead of the donut. Sorry, bad idea. Shit, I'm channeling Fruman now. Look, I know you always loved me even though I fucked everything up. Richard was always the put together one, and I was always, not. You never treated me any different because of that. Obviously you treated me different, tried to discipline me and all that, but you never treated me any different in the ways that really mattered. And I'm sorry I never repaid that while you were alive. I guess I just wanted to stop by to let you know that I got a new job and I'm finally kind of turning things around. It's still a scattered, shady, off-the-books, complete mess, the kind of thing I would get involved in. But this time, it's actually for a good cause, I think. I'm trying to fight something or stop something. These 2 new partners I've got, they're good guys. They're focused, and they're trying to, keep people safe. I still can't really wrap my head around what it is that we're fighting or doing. But it's bad. Whatever it is, it's killing people. It feels like it could, just eat entire towns up from the inside if we don't do something about it. I'm a part of that now. I think it's something worth stopping, and I think I'm a good person to do it. I think you'd be proud of me and what I'm doing now, for once. So, I love you, Mom.